future and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole
Boss, I
world.
see you.
Light,
Charlie,
let the dawn
Champag.
of a
I can
new
only see
day
that bit. Good
bring
evening. I
understanding
hope
and
you're okay.
love. Oh, inside,
Gatti, I see you. Good evening. Please help share this live to your friends. Let them be part of our talk today.
inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of insight, really.
Rainbow,
Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody.
future and
I hope we are good.
life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love.
Treasure, I see you. Thanks for joining. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Insight with FunmiRoyal. I hope we are good. How has the week been? Busy, maybe relaxing. Okay, Lawal, I see you. Shirana, I see you. Thanks for joining. Please help share this live. Mr. Sarah, longest time. I hope you are good. It's been a while. Happy Thursday.
Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring
I
understanding
see you,
and
Fat Mac.
love.
My goodness, I can't even pronounce your name. Fatima Takbla, I hope you're good. Good evening, welcome.
Inside, inside.
Happy Thursday. I hope we are good. I hope the month of July is treating us well. I'm grateful to God. It's my month. Well, I'm still in the Thanksgiving mode, just thanking God for life generally. And I mean, you and I know that it's the second half of this year, 2025. The fact that we're still alive is more than enough to say thank you, Lord. Because we know, some of us know one or two people who started the year with us, but they're not here today. Not because we're any better, just by the grace of God. This Leng, I see you. Thanks for joining. Good evening. So, yeah, happy Thursday, everyone. This is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we ought to rejoice and be glad in it. I am, for one, really. I hope our week has been good. The month of July so far, 10 days gone already. When was it? I was still saying Happy New Month, Happy New Month. It's like once we get to June, July, it just goes so quickly. But they say make hay while the sun shine. What we have to do quick. Because before you know, I'll be saying Happy December, Happy December. And you wonder where did January to November, where did it all go? Yes, if you have to make plans, make plans. If you have to put action to it, put action to it. I see you, disciple. Good evening. You are welcome. So what you have to do, they say, do quick. Time waits for no one. Stop procrastinating. You know, if you have to pray for boldness, courage, whatever it is you need to do, we still have 6 months, well, roughly, of this year to achieve a lot, really. Child of God, I see you. Good evening to you. So guys, as usual, on Thursday, we talk about, you can see on my screen, marriage and responsibilities. That's what we're talking about today. This Saleng, you said accept. I don't know what you're accepting. So if you want to explain, I'm not too sure, but okay. I'll look forward to that explanation. Lulu G, I see you. Thanks for joining. Please, guys, help share this live to your friends, to your followers. Let them be part of this talk today, especially those you know that are serious about their marriage relationship and they may be having one or two situations there. On Thursday here on Insight, we always talk about marriage relationship issues we shy away from talking about, issues that are, you know, tentatively affecting our marriages, some leading to separation, some eventually divorce. But let us sit and talk about these hard issues. Let us dare ourselves here on Insight and talk about these hard issues. They are hard, they are difficult, they're challenging, they are, you know, time consuming, energy consuming, mind consuming, and all of that. And somebody out there might just say, look, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. I've tried this, I've tried that, you know, I've done this and done that. But you know, it takes two in a marriage. It takes two to tango. So if you're the husband watching, please send this link to your wife. If you're the wife watching, send to your husband. Let us rub minds together and find out ways where we can, you know, reach a compromise and be more tolerant, be more understanding, so that we can actually start enjoying the goodness of marriage. And I'll say, as God intended. Is it going to be a smooth ride? Of course not. I can tell you so many stories. LIG always, I see you. Good evening. Please help share this live to your friends. You know, sometimes they say when people are talking serious matter that has to do with our lives, you barely will see a handful of people there. But if I were to come on TikTok, you know, twerking and all of that, I bet there'll be 1,000 people here by now. But it doesn't matter. Life matters, and that's why I'm here. Like I say, I'm on assignment. What are we facing in that marriage that is so heavy? It's so hard to talk about. Lade Olugbemi, I see you. Thanks for joining. Please help share this live to your friends. And guys, as you come in, the least at least we can do is to keep tapping. When we tap, it cannot attract other people to this live, and we learn one or two things from one another, ways we can do better by ourselves, by our spouses, by our family, so that we can truly start enjoying our marriage relationship. Marriage is one of the hardest institutions to go into. And if we don't have a proper understanding, if we're not mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, economically prepared, we go into it, the chances that we may struggle here and there. And God help us. If we have good examples around us, you know, God would really have to help us. But you and I know that sometimes, I mean, I was just on a hangout and we're talking about people 40 years into their marriage, separating or divorcing, 30 years, 20 years. And this person asked, if they've stuck it for that long, why can't they just stay till death or till whenever? Why would you invest your life 40 years in a marriage relationship, and at the end you're like, oh, I'm tired, I call it quits. I mean, I don't know, I would never really understand that, but I know everybody, facing life in different ways. But I believe strongly that God's intention, I mean, for God to establish the marriage institution, He knows it can work, He knows it's good. But like I always say, when things are like that, check yourself. Let your spouse check themselves. There's certain things we're not doing, or there's certain things either of us are not doing, and it's affecting us. And then in the long run, we get tired, we get weary, we like, let's just call it quits and all of that. But if God's intention was for us to marry and divorce, I don't even think He will waste His time establishing that institution. So you and I need to get it right so that we can start enjoying that relationship by the grace of God, because that's His intention for us. The goodness of marriage, when experienced, is a beautiful thing. It's a blessed thing. So just kind of preambling like I would do, I'm gonna go straight into my talk. And please, like I say, if you come in, just tap. A heart to me would suffice. Thank you so much in advance. And please help share this live, to your friends, those who are just newly engaged, those who are in that marriage 5 years, 10 years, however long. Let us talk about these issues. Let us break things down. Let us have a deep understanding so that we can do better in our marriage relationship. God, I'm here to learn as well. I'm not here as an expert. I'm here to learn. So, topic today, as you come, I welcome everybody. Eric 1010, I see you. We're talking about marriage and responsibilities. It's a huge thing that, if not properly understood, cannot, bring issues, conflicts in a marriage. And I mean, for the life of me, like I said, I just left a hangout debating about divorce, separation, and all of that. You find out that there's so many causes to why people are separating, so many reasons why people are divorcing. And then you tend to wonder, can these things that breaks marriage, can it not be addressed? Can things not be amended? But sometimes you find out it's a highway, my way or the highway, or you find out that there's pride and ego, or you find out there's so many reasons. But these things truly, if we look at it critically, put it aside for a second, can we just go and live life beyond that thing? And anyway, let me go into my topic today. I'll give my talk to give us perspective, to give us understanding where we're focusing on today, so that we can learn as much as possible from one another. So, marriage and responsibilities, I give it a subtitle: Building a Strong Foundation Together. It takes two in a marriage relationship as God ordained it, for a man and a woman, one husband, one wife. One husband, one wife, according to biblical studies and according to biblical truth. A man and a woman, one husband, one wife. So in the context I'm going to be talking today, in case you're joining for the first time, this is my approach. So we all know that marriage is a beautiful gift from God. In fact, it's a covenant, not just a contract. It's a covenant for life. However long life we get, it's supposed to be for life. This is God's intention. Sometimes some of us need to go back and read the Word of God where marriage is concerned, have an understanding of where God is coming from, how He will want us to build this relationship, this institution He has blessed us with, so that we can be in it till Christ comes or till death will do you part. I know that, it's inevitable as well. But like every gift and every relationship, it comes with responsibilities. Like every gift or any gift and every relationship, it comes with responsibilities. For there's nothing you will lay your hands to do that you will not be responsible for. You have to do something to make it work, or you still do something to make it not work. You just have to do something. It's not left for you to say, I'm going to do positive things, I'm going to do inspiring things, insightful things, good things, better things, and all of that. Shalom, I see you. So many marriages break down not because of lack of love. No, 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 not because of that, but because of neglected responsibilities from either the husband or the wife, doesn't even matter, or from both of them. So today's topic, we're going to be looking at what the Bible says about marriage and the roles and responsibilities that help keep it strong, healthy, and God honoring. Today I'm going to be sharing one or two Bible verse because as we're talking about marriage, there is no way that I'm going to leave aside my Bible. I am favored, I see you, because that is where the origin, the foundation of marriage has come in, and where best to get words of wisdom, words of encouragement, words that would help us to understand what we call marriage, and of course the responsibilities for the husband and for the wife, which we're going to be breaking down as we go into this talk today. Because what marriage is God honoring. God created it. I mean, except somebody else have something else to say, I don't know, but that is my foundation, that is my belief. So what is marriage? Let's break it down some more. What is marriage? I tell us, marriage is a covenant relationship ordained by God. Marriage is a covenant relationship ordained by God. It is not just a social agreement or emotional attachment. No, it is a lifelong union between a man and a woman with God at the center. There's a song, Jesus at the center of it all. Jesus at the center of it all. From beginning to the end, it will always be. It's always been you, Jesus. Jesus, is God at the center of your marriage? This is a big question. If you say you know that God created a marriage institution and you've pushed him aside, you want to do things by yourself, for yourself, with yourself, well, sometimes including your spouse, there will be issues, and that's just it. So if you go back and read Genesis, the book of Genesis in the Bible, Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, it says that, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Even though there are two people, a husband and a wife, he says a man will leave his father and mother. He will leave them and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. I didn't say this. The word of God says. So if you want to go into a marriage relationship, are you ready to be one flesh with that woman of your choice, with that man of your choice? It's a simple question as that. Marriage is about oneness, even though it's a lot challenging than it sounds. Marriage is about oneness. We're talking about physically, emotionally, spiritually, and practically. A13, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Champagne 777, I see you. Thanks for joining. So marriage is about oneness, and in all of this aspect that I've just mentioned. So let's look at the foundation again. Mutual responsibility, because we're talking about marriage and responsibilities today. So God designed a marriage to work when both partners fulfill their God-given roles. That is the only way it can work. We are both human. Say one and one will come together to be one flesh. This is God's mathematical equation. I didn't do this. So if you want to doubt or whatever, go read your Bible. You will see it there. I've given us the passage, Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Go and read it for yourself. So God, he knows, he's a God of order. He's a God of responsibility as well. So these responsibilities are not about dominance. It's not about competition, but about partnership. If you're not willing to be a partner with that person you say you love, do not walk them down the aisle unless you know you're ready mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, all of those, financially, all aspects that you can think of. Again, if you read the Bible in Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9, it says two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. If one person can eat maybe 10 scoops of ice cream, imagine two of you together, you might be able to even go as far as 40 because you're kind of encouraging one another, and your spouse eat 20, you eat 20, unlike if it's just you. So together you get rewarded for your labor because two are better than one. You want to push something, you're struggling, trying to push it and push it, and then your partner comes and together you push, and it's like, wow, just push. Together we can achieve. But you and I know that it comes at a cost. Comes sometimes sacrificially, we have to be given. So let's break it down. Like I say, I'm not here talking as an expert, but I've been reading my Bible for a number of years now, and like I said, I'm drawing from there, especially our roles, our responsibilities. I know we say, oh, times have changed, we're in the 21st century, this has changed, the women has evolved, the men has evolved, that. The word of God is still the same forever. It will always be the same. So no matter the civilization that has come, no matter the enlightenment that has come, no matter the development that has come, it's still the same word of God that we're going to use. It's still the same word of God that is going to liberate us if we take our time to understand it and not fight it. Don't stop fighting it, really. If you think you're struggling, okay, you haven't tried the word of God, go try the word of God. Go on a research, you and your spouse. What does the word of God say about this? Go on, you can even Google it, apart from, reading the physical Bible, so do something about it. Try the word of God. What does it say about marriage? What does it say about the husband? What does it say about the wife? Because society now has coined a lot of things for people to live by. And obviously, if you go online and check the rate of divorce, my goodness, in their thousands. But still, you and I know that every day, almost every day, all over the world, people are still getting married. So no matter the rate of divorce, I believe strongly, because the covenant for humanity, we're still going to keep getting married. Whether divorce rate is higher or lower or whatever it is, people are still getting married. What does that say to you? Anyways, I'll leave that there. So let's look at the responsibilities of the husband, at least based on my biblical findings. Thank you so much, A13, for the heart me. Thank you so much for liking the live. Please help share to your friends. Let them be part of this talk. And it's up for debate. That's why we're here. Let us discuss. Let us reason together so that at the end of the day, we'll come to a conclusion and everybody will do their bit and see how far you enjoy your marriage as well. Because that's the whole idea of being here. So the responsibilities of the husband, one, leadership. And leadership, not just leadership, it's a servant leadership. And I'm going to break that down so that we can understand. A servant leadership, like Christ is our example. He was a servant leader. Even though he was a leader, he served people. So the husband is a leader in that home. He's a servant leader, meaning he will lead with love, humility, respect, and wisdom. And if he's lacking in any area, he can call on the creator of this marriage institution to help him, because no man is perfect. We're all striving to be better than our yesterday, and it's only God that can help us and give us that grace to be better, in all that we do. And that servant leader is not a dictatorship leadership, but like Christ-like leadership. Like I said, he was a servant leader. Ephesians 5:23 talks about, for the husband is the head of the wife, as also Christ is the head of the church. And this is very controversial. And like I said, I just left one, keep dragging back and forth. Is the head, is not the head, is it this? We are man and woman, male and female, yeah? In that relationship, we are one before God. We are equal before God. But I tell you this for free. The role of each person is different as assigned by God. And if we can try, even if it's 80%, let's try to even understand and live by this. We'll find out that we're even enjoying our marriage more than we thought we would, or we could, or we can. I don't know. English sometimes will fail me. So he's supposed to be a servant leader in that home, not a dictatorship leader, but Christ-like leader who gave himself for the church. Can a husband give himself for his family? I'm not saying dying now, no, that's not what I'm saying. Sacrificially, because sometimes it's tough. Being a leader is not easy. More so a servant leader will lead by example. Again, the husband is supposed to love and care, love unconditionally, provide emotionally and physically. You know what? Most things that we do, it's only God that will even reward us. Some things we do secretly, God will reward us whether we see it or not. Sometimes He does openly. Sometimes He rewards us and you have to testify of His goodness. So a husband is supposed to love and care, provide emotionally, physically. He's supposed to be present. He's supposed to be supportive, and he's supposed to be tender, no matter the enormity of the muscles. Tender. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25 also says, husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. Giving yourself for somebody, giving yourself for your wife, it is sacrificial, and it's not everybody that can do this. That's why I say marriage is not for small boys and small girls. It's for a mature man, a mature woman. It's not for lily-livered people. If you know you're not ready to give what it takes, please don't waste somebody's life by tying them down in that marriage and not doing the needful. It's very hurting. It's very painful, a thing. If you don't want your child to go through that, don't put another child, another person's child through it, even though they're your spouse. I'll leave it there. Again, the husband is supposed to provide and protect for his wife, his children. Work diligently to provide for the family. Of course, one or two things, life can throw at us. It becomes challenging to fulfill this, to do this. But in God's way, that should not reduce who the man is. But we know what is happening today. Some see that if the man cannot provide financially and all of that, he's lost his leadershiphood. No, the Bible does not say that. It's going to be tough because this mind, sometimes it goes this way, try to logically reason things out, and it's like it doesn't make sense. But a man is supposed to provide and protect his family, protect the home from harm, spiritually and physically. Are you the husband that shields your family in the place of prayer, in the place of when you talk physically, you just see somebody is trying to make trouble with your wife. Are you just sitting there, oh, let her do? Or with your husband, they will fight. Maybe they're men, they will sort it out. No, you will not go there and say, you will go through me. Me, I like to do this. Who them? I start trying to remove my earring. In my mind, I say, hey, this muscle person will finish me. No, but I'm just joking. But what am I saying? Supposed to protect his home from harm, spiritually and physically as well. If you read the first book of Timothy, chapter 5 verse 8, it says, but if anyone does not provide for his own, he has denied the faith. Meaning this is God's responsibility for the man. If anyone does not provide for his own, he has denied the faith. It's like you're joking. It's like, what do you believe? What are you doing? Joy, love, I see you. So this is very important. And with all respect, to our husbands, these things, from time to time, we ought to kind of reflect on it. Am I, playing my responsibility in this home? If I am not, what are the reasons? Or what can I do? Or what can I even do better? Because sometimes, we are doing it, but we may have to do better in order to still enjoy the goodness of that marriage. The husband is supposed to be the spiritual leader in the home. They say, women pray a lot. But I beg to tell you that the man, the husband, is supposed to be the spiritual leader in the home. You lead in prayers, worship, in God's word. Your children, your wife should be able to come to you. I read this portion of the Bible, I don't understand. Or this thing happened. Do you know any word of God from the Bible that can help me understand? Should be, bring your Bible, my dear. Let us sit and, I think this chapter, this is supposed to be that leader to his wife and children, even himself. He's supposed to set the tone for the family's faith life. So if you're a Muslim, as a husband, how are you introducing your faith to your family? Good evening. Let me see, who's that? Hair by Flaky, I see you. Good evening. I hope you're good. No matter your religion. And that's why they kind of encourage that when you're getting married, get married to someone of your own faith, so that way you can pray together, study your word together, whether it's Bible, Quran, or whatever it is. Okay, it's good to hear you're good. That's what I love to hear. Thank God for life, So whatever your faith is, how are you introducing it to your family? Or you just leave everybody to themselves to do whatever? You're not covering them as a spiritual head in that home. You need to set the tone for your family's faith life. And that is on you as the man. There's so many other responsibilities, but because of time, I'll limit that. At least I'm sure you guys, when the time is right, you're going to come up and tell us other responsibilities a man is supposed to cover. So I'm going to go quickly to the responsibilities of the wife. First, respect and support. Remember, from the men, I mentioned respect as well, because one good turn deserves another. Don't just say, men need respect. Is it women that don't need respect? So let's not even go there. Respect and support for the wife. I'm talking about the responsibility of the wife now. Support and honor your husband's leadership, because you have chosen to submit to him by saying, I do. And he puts a ring on the finger. So you have submitted yourself to him. So you have to honor and respect this man, his leadership, whether it suits you well. When you now get into the marriage, you're discovering a lot of things. You have chosen to say, I do. You have to submit to his leadership as long as he's under the authority of God himself. Because I remembered I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I said, sometimes we don't think, we don't reason objectively. Say your husband, now I'm saying this because, like I said, husband is a leader in that home. He's telling you to go and steal. He's telling you to carry, pistol to go and steal, rob a bank. Would you do that? Because you're submitting to his leadership, you to go and carry pistol and go and rob. That is not under God. So let us be wise. At least you understand where I'm coming from. So you need to be wise. And I found out that sometimes this is challenging. Like I said, please, you can come up and argue this out with me. But we all know where we're coming from. We all have our different opinions, understandings. That's why I say, let us rub minds together. If I find myself in that position and I know that this is against God, I will put my head away under that leadership and put it back to God, where I was before he came to take me and say he wants to be my leader. If my spouse tells me, go and carry pistol and rob a bank, it's not an act of God. God wouldn't want me to submit to that kind of a leader. If you understand me, even though we're still in that marriage institution, this is where the controversy comes in. And I'm hoping that somebody will come and let us talk more about this. So your spouse cannot give you a pistol to go and rob a bank, like I said, and you follow suit because I must submit under his leadership. Hey, both of you will suffer for it. And not just both of you, even your children may be partakers of that. But you don't want that. So sometimes you may have to run back to God for covering, for leadership, because the leadership over you, there's just something wrong at that point in time. Doesn't mean I say separate or divorce, but it depends on the case, really, as the case may be. But you need wisdom to do this. So wives ought to love, support, respect, honor their husband's leadership. They need to speak with grace, not contempt. Even if you're well educated more than your husband, you're still, submitted to him. And I'm not talking about slavery now. I'm talking of submission, a healthy one, please. Because there's always a thin line. People cross over to the other side, and then it is not a good thing. Ephesians 5:33 says, let the wife see that she respects her husband. Someone said some time ago, you see some women, especially in church, they say, pastor, yes, sir, pastor. But their husband, they just say, go and sit down. You go, yeah, yes, people are talking, you two, you are talking. How can you say that to your pastor? No. And you've forgotten that your husband is your number one pastor before the other pastor in the church. No matter the hierarchy, no matter how many years they've been in, your husband should be your first pastor before your pastor in your church. Well, it's up for debate. And you just can you talk to pastor? Pastor, go sit down. Just go and sit down. Everybody's talking, you two are talking. No. You don't want to be addressed that way. Don't speak to your husband in that way. So be mindful. Know that in as much as it lies with you, wives, let us respect our husbands. I know they get on our nerves. Sometimes we say harsh words, but that's why we go back, to make amends. Make amends, because there's no how you live together for 70 years, 60 years, 40, 30. You offend one another. Sometimes you even say some harsh words. Even something will prick your heart. That's too much. What has happened has not warranted that. What's on you to do? Go back and apologize and let peace reign. Again, the responsibility of the wife is for companionship and partnership. Companion, no, I didn't say slavery, slave. I didn't say dictatorship. I'm looking for a word now. Anyway, be a helper suitable. That is what the Bible says. Not lesser. You are equal before God. So we're joint heirs with Christ. It's just that our responsibilities, our role is different in that marriage relationship. For the fact that my husband is my head in my marriage does not mean I'm lesser. Anywhere we go, I should be hiding behind it. I should be hiding. They must not see me as him. No, that's not what I'm saying. It doesn't make you less of a human, because you're both created in God's image. You're equal, but you complement one another, not compete with one another. You complement one another, not compete with one another. Go and read Genesis 2:18. You're not lesser, but you're there, a suitable help, especially when the man is struggling, especially when he feels inadequate. How are you supporting? How are you being a partner to that person? And sometimes some people say, no matter what I do, they're never satisfied, they're never contented. Then you need to talk about it. Maybe what you're doing is not what they need at that time. And that's why it seems like your effort is not nothing really. Share dreams, share your husband's dreams, share responsibilities, share burdens with one another. That is what the wife is supposed to do with the husband. You're supposed to nurture the home, create a peaceful, loving environment. Mind you, as a husband, is whatever you put in that wife, you come back to meet when you're coming back home. So if you are the type that you've neglected, you've abandoned, you've not been there, and then you want to come to a loving and peaceful environment after work, you're kidding yourself. Maybe, Monday to Thursday, you will get a peaceful home. Friday, she'll be waiting for you. All the dosage from Monday to Thursday, she will add it to the Friday and give you full dose. But is that even truly the solution? Let's be mindful, wives. I'm talking to myself in case you don't know. We're meant to create a peaceful, loving environment. Sometimes husbands may make this challenging, and sometimes husband may help this to be so good for us to achieve. We help raise the children with wisdom and godliness. We talk about techniques we want to use to raise our children. They're going to follow suit in our faith. When we're going to church, we drag them along. No, we're not drag them, we'll take them along. And with time, they got used to that. They're used to it. We pray, we sing together, and, they get used to that. And I know everybody go to the Proverbs 31 woman go, hey, I don't want to even go there. Proverbs 14 verse 1 says, the wise woman builds her house. If you need wisdom to build, you can always pray to the author of this marriage institution, our Heavenly Father. Pray to Him. Ask Him for wisdom to help you deal with situation, to help you cope, to give you that wisdom to support your husband adequately. I'm talking about the responsibility of the wife. So the last one I'm going to mention is the spiritual strength as well. Remember, I mentioned it for the husband. It's supposed to be the spiritual covering for his home. Be prayerful as a woman. Be spiritually alert. Because sometimes God will just give the woman a vision. And if she's the one that will snore, wake up, can't even remember what the thing is. And the husband is like, my dear, did you have a dream? I sense you had a dream because in your sleep you woke me up somehow. You were saying something or you were praying and say, and still scratching. You say, I didn't dream anything. Hey, woman, wake up. Spiritually wake up, woman. Because sometimes some women are gifted like this. Sometimes danger could be ahead and God will give them a vision. Bam, middle of the day will wake up. Honey, my dear, wake up. I just had this bad feeling. I had this dream. And you explain the dream to your husband. Immediately, you start praying and start binding and start doing that. It's not all the time that it's the husband that will pray. Sometimes the wife too might have to, initiate this, or when you see certain things, alert your husband, and both of you together spiritually go into that warfare and deal with the situation. And as well as a wife, set godly examples for your children, even for your husband, because sometimes they need encouragement. It's not easy to be a husband though. Hey, and I know it's not easy to be a wife. The more reason we need to complement one another, to complete one another, not competing with one another. And that's why there's always chaos. I'll say, okay, what is that problem that you think does not have a solution? Or you're ignoring the solution because you think, your pride and ego will be affected. So think about it truly. What is that problem that does not have a solution? As long as there is life, there is hope, they say. But are we hopeful? That is another question. So much for the responsibility of the husband and the wife. Let's look at shared responsibilities in marriage. I'm just trying to break this down so that we have an understanding. Because sometimes there's certain things we just live life. We don't really sit down to consciously address certain things in our marriage. And this is a way of encouraging us to do that. It's never too late because you're going to be in that marriage for life. It's never too late to start making amends, to start being conversational with our spouses, to start loving, to start making a change. Let them see and say, something is different about my husband. He's just doing, something is different. And encourage it, especially the good things they're trying to change or do better. It's not all the time we fight, complain, moan. What they're doing, you do not see. It's the one that they are not doing that you always say all the time. Say the ones they've done as well. And it goes either way. So I'm not just for women or men tonight. I'm for everybody tonight. So that's why I try to balance this talk as much as possible. Marriage is not his role or her job alone. Some responsibilities are shared, and I'm going to mention some of them as well. Healthy and effective communication. There's no how husband will be talking to himself to himself, or no, and there's no how wife will be talking to herself. You have to talk to each other, especially when there's conflict. Healthy and effective communication. Not the one that brings somebody down, not the one that castigates. In fact, their soul, body, spirit, that they're like, my God, is this person saying they love me? And they're saying all of this. Mind what you say. Speak honestly, listen actively, and resolve conflict peacefully. When you're trying to resolve a conflict, let peace be at the back of your mind. You'll find out that you will soft pedal a little bit. But when you're having a conflict and what is at the back of your mind is, I must win this conflict, you think you're fighting one another instead of that situation, then you've got it all wrong. Poor communication is a common source of division. Best speak the same language or learn how to speak the same language. It will be challenging at first, And the more you speak this language, you may not understand, you will understand, you misunderstand, you will do. After a while, you find out that, oh, I'm beginning to understand this man's language. I'm beginning to understand this woman's language. And you find out that we're speaking the same language. Oh, glory be to God. And you find out that things are easier. Conflicts can be confronted easily because you're speaking the same language. Again, another shared responsibility, husband and wife, is forgiveness and patience. Sometimes we may forgive, but we don't have patience. Sometimes we have patience, but we don't know how to forgive. But we need to combine these two, forgiveness and patience. No one is perfect, and no marriage is perfect either. But it requires daily dosage of grace. Give grace to your wife. Give grace to your husband. They're not perfect. They're trying. And some husbands don't even have good role models. Some wives too, they don't have good role models. So you're in it, in that institution, learning as the day goes by. So leave room for a bit of slack. Leave room for a bit of imperfection. Give room for grace, patience, forgiveness. And man to wife, wife to man. Both ways. Again, shared responsibility is raising children. Hey. I pause here because some people's mindset is still that it's a particular person that has to raise the children. Please, please, and please. It takes two to make babies. It takes two to raise the babies. Except if maybe in the case of the worst case scenario, a spouse dies, then of course it'll be on the one spouse left to raise those children. But the husband is present, the wife is present. Why won't both of you raise your children together? So both parents are responsible for nurturing and disciplining and guiding the children in the way of the Lord. One, in the way they should grow. Children will always make mistakes, and that's why you have two parents to help guide those children. Think back to your own parents, whether they're biological or adopted or whatever. Think back. It was their responsibility, however it may be, to take care of you. And they did it the best way they feel they know how. You can sit and complain, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, but they think, oh, we tried our best, to raise you the best way we can. Now you're a parent. Good luck to you. Let's see how well your children will applaud you as well. Let's see how well my children will applaud me as well. You're a good mother. Or you're like, thumbs up, thumbs down. They don't even know which, So these things is in cycle. And if you've had a bad experience, I bet you will do whatever it takes to make sure that your children do not have the same experience as you as a child in that family setting. We guide our children, we discipline them, we nurture them, we care for them together. It's not on the wife alone. It's not on the husband alone. Except in the worst case scenario, like I mentioned. God will help us. Again, both parties in this world of today, like I said, advancement and all of that, we are financial stewards. When it comes to our family, both of us should be responsible for that. Budgeting together, spending together, and saving together. Avoid secrecy or financial irresponsibility, because we find out that over time we might take one another for granted. We have a savings, somebody will just go and dip their hand and just do something without telling the other person. This is going to create problem. That's why you have to be open and honest, communicate with one another. Even if you're going to do that, let your spouse be aware. Because these are little things that create big unnecessary problems. We're not open and we're not transparent with our spouses where financial talk is concerned. As much as possible, I know whatever works in your home, they say, but you still need openness and transparency. Otherwise, there will be issues in the long run. Again, the last one I'm going to mention, which is crucial as well. Shared responsibility between husband and wife. If you're just joining, you are welcome. Good to have you on Insight. We're talking about marriage and responsibilities. So I've talked about the responsibility of the husband and the wife. I'm talking now about the shared responsibility of both husband and wife together in that marriage institution. The last one I'm going to mention is the sexual faithfulness and intimacy. Meet each other's physical and emotional needs faithfully. And I know sometimes spouse will struggle in this particular topic, the sexual bit. Sometimes people struggle, and there's help available as long as you don't let pride go in the way. You've tried for years and years. It's like it's not just working. It's something is just, get help. Like I always say, don't be ashamed to get help in that department. Because if you don't get help, you get frustrated and you're opening yourself to some temptations outside of your marriage. You just want this person to smile to you and bam, what have I done? And then some people, because they know that some things are not getting better at home, because they're not even seeking help for the home, they'll just go out and carry on with that. And at the end of the day, how is that meant to be a solution for your own bedroom at home? It's hard because issues go on in that bedroom that cannot probably talk about here, but this is Insight. I say I dare us to talk about those things so that we can free ourselves and do better by ourselves and our spouses. We're meant to meet each other's physical and emotional needs, and not just that, do it faithfully. In the good times, be faithful. In the bad times, be faithful. That is what it is in a marriage. This person for life. A lot of husbands have gone outside, a lot of wives have gone outside, but if you sit them down and ask them, why did you go outside? They will blame each other. You're the reason why I've gone outside. Have you ever sat down to address this issue before it resulted to you going outside to finding fake solutions that will never bring solution, so to say? Sometimes you have to talk about it, address it, practicalize it, come back again and talk about it. You find out that you would sink at some point. And that's why I say, if the worst gets worse, get help. There are professionals out there. See a sex therapist if you must. And there's nothing to be ashamed about because you want the best for your marriage. Do not be ashamed to find help for your marriage. Hebrews in the Bible, chapters 13, verse 4 says, marriage is honorable among all, and a bed undefiled. But fornicators and adulterers, God will judge. And this is God's word. Like I say, the Bible is free out there. Open the Bible and study. Get knowledge yourself. Your marriage bed is honorable, meaning in there should be purity, not impurity. The moment somebody goes out and brings that impurity into that bed, you have defiled the bed. And not just the bed, you have defiled God's ordinances, God's words. And it says here, God will judge whoever that is. I'm not here to condemn anybody. So when you know that there's no solution out there, you will sit with your spouse and talk things through. You will sit with your spouse and find solution with them, no matter how tough or how bad it gets. You might say easier said than done. Yeah. Excuses are for failures. Everybody will have excuses for doing whatever they do. But is it justified? That is the thing. Would it be justified before God and before men? It is well. God will help us. And again, when talking about shared responsibility, the last one I'm going to mention is spiritual growth, which I've technically mentioned when I was breaking down the responsibility. Pray together as much as you can, because I know sometimes someone might be doing day job, night job and all, sometimes you might even have to pray over the phone just to see have that spiritual connection. Study the word together, attend fellowship together, go to your mosque or whatever it is you do, go attend together and grow in God as a couple. Like I said, God is the one that instituted marriage. And your faith is in Christ. Good. Both of you. Somebody is praying, the other one is praying in tongues. You're not looking at each other. What is this one doing? And you're wondering. You're supposed to be praying together. You don't even understand yourself in the spiritual thing, in your faith. Of course, there will be some issues. Pray together, study the word together, attend the same kind of fellowship so that you can grow together, not leave them behind. If you see that maybe this person, the way they're behaving, are you studying your word? Chastise one another in love. So I'm moving swiftly because I'm mindful of the time. When responsibilities are ignored, these are things that can come up. These are things that can happen. I'm going to just mention a few of them. When responsibilities are ignored, when responsibilities are neglected, love will turn cold. Love will turn cold in that relationship. Communication will break down. And all of this thing I'm mentioning is not going to help build your marriage relationship. It's not going to help build that relationship you have with your spouse. When responsibilities are neglected, resentment might come in, frustrations will grow, children will suffer, your spiritual life will decline. And these are things that can happen when we don't take on our responsibilities, and run with it. But at the same time, to balance this talk, when responsibilities are honored, trust will grow. Because you're doing your bit, I'm doing my bit. We trust each other that we're responsible enough to carry our responsibility. And when we're lacking behind or whatever, we can ask for help from our spouses. That's why we have each other. When responsibilities are honored, love will deepen. Be like, wow, in fact, I'm loving you by the day because you're so responsible with, you just say that, I salute you, whatever it is you have to say. When responsibilities are honored, peace will reign. Because you're not saying, it's you didn't do this, you should have done this, you didn't do that. Everybody is doing their bit. Peace will definitely reign. The only thing you have to fight is the outsider or the devil or, an intruder. When husband and wife honor their responsibility, God's blessings abound. God will multiply your efforts. God will open doors unto you in pleasant places. God will bring about blessings, open heavens. God will bring about opportunities that you never would think of because you're doing your part honorably. And the owner of this institution will bless you in return. This is all God asks of us. I'll just say this briefly. God's role in a marriage, like I said from the onset, God created marriage institution. So his role in marriage, so no marriage can thrive on human effort alone. You might say, for me, some people are unbelievers and they've been married years and years. For the fact that they went into marriage institution, is God's not the creator of marriage? He is. So they've dabbled into his institution. Of course, they love. That's what God has said. That's why I say sometimes some people deny God, but they're embracing his creation. They're embracing his creativity. I don't even know creativeness. You know what I mean. It doesn't matter. Yeah, marriage, they can last years and years and years because they've shown what God says, love one another. They're loving. They might deny God, but they're loving. That is the rule for you to be in that marriage, for you to carry on, grow. Patient. If you read, is it Corinthians or somewhere there, love is patient, love is this, love is kind. They're kind to one another. It's an act of God. So, of course, yeah, they might not acknowledge God and their marriage is 70 years. To God be the glory still. But they're acting in God's word without acknowledging God. Yeah, it's okay. If you read Ephesians 4, chapter 4, verse 12, it says, a threefold cord is not quickly broken. You, your husband, and God together. The devil will try to break you. That's if you're together with your spouse and God. The devil will try, no doubt. But say a threefold cord is not quickly broken. The devil will really try before it breaks it apart. So why are homes breaking up? Why are marriages breaking up? They're not attending to their responsibility, and they are not in that threefold cord with God in their marriage truly and sincerely. That's my own conclusion. You might say I'm wrong, but that's where I'm going to leave it. Pray together, like I said. Surrender your marriage daily to God. He is the ultimate source of wisdom, strength, and love. This is God's word. He wants us to love one another unconditionally, understand one another, be there for one another. So if you like, acknowledge there's God exists or it doesn't exist, yet you're going into a marriage institution He created, what are you doing? So why don't I just acknowledge this God and enjoy the fullest of this marriage institution He has created? Surrender your marriage to God. Let God be the threefold cord that would help you hold on together. He will strengthen you. He would help you to love one another the way you ought to love one another, that will last eternity. Anyways, I'm going to conclude now, and I'll bring us up to talk some more about this marriage and responsibility. Marriage is more than a feeling. It's a daily choice and a shared responsibility of the husband and the wife. It requires sacrifice, it requires commitment, and it requires a servant heart. I want to serve my family. I don't want to, well, of course they will serve me, but I want to, that's the one thing should come to mind. I want to serve my family as best as I can, God helping me. If everybody have this mindset, there will be less conflict in the home, because there's deep understanding of God's intention for marriage, and we'll make sure we're fulfilling that intention by carrying our responsibility and not shedding it for our spouses. Oh, hey, you are the head, you must carry everything. You want to kill the man? Oh, you're the woman too, you must carry. You want to kill the woman? Let's be mindful. When each spouse understands and fulfills their role with humility and love, marriage becomes not just bearable, it becomes beautiful, it becomes fruitful, and it becomes God glorifying. I want my marriage to glorify God. I need my marriage to glorify God. And I really need to pass on to my children the beautiful, the fruitful aspect of marriage. So let's commit to being faithful stewards of the marriages God has entrusted to us. And I pray that as many that may be struggling, God will give us the grace, the wisdom, to do the needful, so that we can enjoy the goodness of marriage as God intended for you and I. Thank you so much. I'm gonna leave it there for today. So my question to us today is, can shared responsibilities provide a peaceful home? Can shared responsibilities provide a peaceful home? And what does shared responsibility mean to you? What does it mean to you? Because what it means to me might be different to yours. So let's rub minds. I might pick one or two from you, and I bet you probably have picked one or two from me already. But let's rub minds together. And that is the end of my talk today. Thank you guys, as usual, for always listening. Thank you.
Let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love.
Oluwakemi, I see you. Thank you, A13. Thank you. So guys, please send an invite. Let us talk some more about this, because you and I know that this responsibility is one of the major reasons homes are separating, or couples are separating. marriages are breaking, by the day. You're not doing this, you're supposed to do this, you're not doing that. We keep going back and forth until we wear ourselves out, we burn out, and we're tired. We can't do this anymore. Go your way, let me have peace. I go my way, let you have peace. But at the end of the day, do we really have this peace when we go our way? I say here, except we're talking about domestic violence, which we all know that I will never be in support of. That's not what we're talking about here. But there's some responsibilities we are supposed to carry as a husband, we are supposed to carry as wives, but we're not carrying it as we ought to, and it's bringing conflicts, it's bringing issues in the marriage, in all aspects of marriage, really, not just one aspect. Because sometimes if it's finances, you're solid, but if it's the other room, there's issues. Or some people, the other room, they're solid, finances, it's like there's always something we may have to really focus on and work on. Otherwise, that one thing will break every other thing that seems okay. So let us talk about this responsibility. The wife, the husband. Let us talk about it so that way we have a better understanding and we can actually sit down, reflect, talk to ourselves. We'll do better. Like I said, this kind of topic, hey, it's only by grace you'll see a handful of people, but it's all right. Even if it's just one person, we can chit chat and rub minds together, and maybe
Yes.
others will come in. Shifon, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Fumi. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I hope you're good.
I'm good. How's your day been so far?
So far, so good. My eyes is still like sparkly. I went for this eye test yesterday, and the drops they put is still making all the lights to be too bright. So if you
Oh,
see me
okay.
squinting here and there, that's the reason why. But I think it's time to wear off my eyes. So yeah, just making all the lights like almost disco lights kind of. Well, I'm good. Otherwise, I'm good. Thank you for asking.
It's nice. I've been listening before I joined.
Oh, okay.
So what are the questions?
So my question today is: do you think, or can shared responsibilities provide a peaceful home? And then the second one is: what does shared responsibility mean to you? Because every couple, is different.
Well, from from what I know and what I've experienced, I believe that each party has their own responsibility.
Okay.
I think that is where we start from before we move to things that are shared. If you don't carry your own responsibility, I don't even think you get to the level of dealing with shared responsibility. What am I trying to say? If you are not doing your duties as a husband, or
Yeah.
you are not doing your duties as a wife, then it will be difficult for both of you to share the responsibility of managing your home, managing your children, managing your finances. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So the foundation is you must do your bit first before we can even come together and do what we're both supposed to do before God. So a situation where one of you have something like, I don't know, mental ill health, for example, or you are not in a good place, and as a result it's affecting your responsibility, then it's automatically going to affect the home.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest issues we have today, and I see it getting worse, is we've kind of muddled up this shared responsibility, not intentionally. I think technology plays a part.
Yeah, it
I think,
does.
I think globalization that plays a part. I think finances and culture plays a part. Prehistorically, it was very, cut and dry. The men knew what was expected of them. The women knew what was expected of them. So it wasn't as complex as it is today. And I only see it getting worse.
God help us.
God help us, exactly,
We have
because
to
it's
be
not
intentional that it doesn't get worse
exactly.
too.
Well, no, if you know the battle you are going to fight, I believe that you'll be better prepared for the battle. if that makes sense. If we know this is the work that is in front of us, then we're better prepared for the work in front of us. I think a lot of people are not aware of the work that is involved in marriage. They
Yeah.
spend they spend
Behind, beforehand.
exactly. And I'm part of them, and I'm sure I'm not the only person.
Did
We
you
have
do marriage counseling before marriage?
no, no,
Really? You didn't do
no.
counseling? What? Marital counseling?
We did, but I don't think we did enough, if that makes sense.
Oh.
You know, if we didn't do enough, and part of the problem was because I was based in Nigeria, my wife was based in the UK around the time we were getting married. So it wasn't like we were both based in the same country. So I'll say that also played a part.
Okay.
But going back to what I was saying,
Yeah.
a lot of us, when we get married, I believe a lot of us are naive. And that is not a bad thing because you don't get any training before you get married. Now, what do I mean by training? If you're going to become a driver, you go for your driving test. Yes, somebody will give you marriage counseling, but I don't think you can get enough marriage counseling to prepare you for what
That is the thing, is to prepare you, because there's some ups and downs that even the counselor would not know what would happen. But
exactly.
there's some general knowledge that some people they don't even have.
I agree.
Or they have a preconceived idea that has nothing to do with marriage. And they think
Exactly.
they'll go into marriage with that idea, and they find out that nothing seems to match their idea, and then there will be conflict.
Yeah, of course there's going to be conflict. And that's why I believe that a lot of us, when we get married, we're a bit naive when we get into it. Over time, if you are fortunate, depending on what happens in that relationship, you either mature, develop, become a better person, compromise, sacrifice to get to where you are going, or you crack. And that's what happens with a lot of people. They spend more time preparing for the wedding day than life after the wedding day.
Tell me about it. All the ashwebis.
Yeah. Exactly. So you see people a year to the wedding, they're planning
My
the
God.
wedding a year before the wedding day, and they don't have any plans for a year after the wedding day.
Yeah, it's true.
And that is a recipe for disaster. It really is. And I believe that marriage in this day and age,
Yeah.
you need God. You need God. And I can't repeat that enough because we're now at a point where I feel men and women don't need each other the way we used to. And what do I mean? These days, you can order food, it will be delivered to your door.
Of
A
course.
lot of things, as long as you have money, it can be delivered to you ASAP. Whereas before, the men would go out to get the money, the woman would stay at home and take care of the children. So we were dependent on each other.
Yeah.
These days, if you have money, you can get a childminder while you go to work. We don't need each other the way we used to. And that is
True.
a problem as well.
On its
Because
own, yeah.
exactly, because imagine a situation where, you and I are climbing a hill and we're helping each other climb. And all of a sudden, somebody just comes and the person has a plane. And
What's the point of climbing?
what's the point of climbing?
Yeah.
What is the point? And that's natural for everybody, men and women. When there is a need, you'll find out that when a husband and wife have a joint problem, it fosters a bond
Yeah.
because that problem that they both share will kind of compel them to unite and face that problem. But when there is no shared problem, you go on your own way, I go on my own way, that bond is not there.
Yeah.
The early on in my marriage, my wife and I used to do my own thing, she used to do her own thing. We did that for a couple of years. I wouldn't say issues came up, but at some point, we started to share our goals, we started to share our values. And the moment you have something in common, shared values, shared goals, shared objectives, God is in the mix, then it fosters this bond that makes you both
Grow together.
stronger together. And that is critical. It's critical for any relationship to grow, for any relationship to get better. Shared bond, shared values. And it's one of the things that, I tell people that are, about to get married or are thinking about it. What are your values? Because my values can be A, B, and C, but your values are B, A, and C. Just the difference in order can cause chaos. We have the same three values, but the order alone
Order
can cause chaos.
priority, they're not the
Yeah,
same.
exactly. So mine can be God, family, and work, and yours is God, work, and family. When circumstances or issues come, your values will always dictate how you are going to
React to it.
react and operate. And a lot of us don't know. A lot of us don't ask these questions. A lot of us don't find out until we actually get into it. And you start asking yourself, what did I sign up for?
I know.
So that's my take on the first question. The second question, please remind me.
What does shared responsibility mean to you?
Shared responsibility, I will say, is basically an offset of the last thing that I said. When we have the same kind of goals, we know that, okay, this is what we want to achieve. And because I can't do everything by myself, I need you to carry this part of the responsibility. So normally you're the one that takes the children to school in the morning, but today, I don't know, you have an interview or you have a commitment or you have a meeting. I will carry your load. That is shared responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm normally the one that pays the mortgage, but I'm out of work. You need to help me carry this bit while I find my feet. Because there is nobody on this earth that at some point everybody's going to hit some form of brick wall at some point. And that is, I will say, the joy of having a partner. They can cover for you when you are down. When you are single and you are down, you are alone.
Your own.
And that is why I always tell people that, yes, marriage can be difficult, but it does have its benefits, because no man is an island. I have a friend of mine, actually is my brother's friend, and he's been out of the job for months now, and he's in his early 40s and he's not married. And for the first time, he's actually wishing he had a partner, because maybe she would be the one covering for him right now, and there's nobody to cover. So shared responsibility, I think that's my take on it. No man is an island. Nobody can do everything by themselves. If you have a partner that is sharing your goals, your aspirations, that person can help you, and that person can be your backup when life hits, and life will hit at some point.
Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Thank you so much for your submission. I agree with what you've said, honestly. I hope people listening on the FYP are taking in all these nuggets, because like you said, no man is an island. No man is a wealth of the knowledge. All of the knowledge we learn from one another. If you start comparing notes, your marriage, my marriage, you find out, wow, I never knew this could happen. Different things happen in different marriages, but one thing common that all of us should have is the love, understanding, Whether you are category A, category B, or whatever, there has to be love in that marriage. There has to be understanding. There has to be compromise. There has to be tolerance. There has to be grace. There has to be forgiveness. All of these things, we all ought to share that in our relationship, even though sometimes there are the challenges, so to say. But thank you so much, Sheon, for your submission. Minister Sarah, good evening. I see you. It's been a while. I hope you're good.
Hello. Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Thank
Good
you.
to
Good
see you here.
evening, wherever you are. I had come into your live several times, but just never came up in the box.
I
Just
know,
was
I see you there
listening
because
in.
sometimes I try bringing you up, or you just stay there. I'm like, okay, she just wants to
Yeah.
listen.
Uh-huh. Yes, but no offense, and if I have totally sorry, but
No, 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 it's
you
fine. I do
all
understand. Yeah.
understand, right? We have other things that we're doing. Sometimes we just want to listen in. Um, but the topic, as usual, about marriage is a very broad and deep one. And like you said, no one has the answer except God and those two persons that are in that marriage or in that relationship towards marriage. That's for me. That's the most what I should say hard task, because people will come and, they would try to find solutions to their problems and stuff like that. And, we try to give them the best advice or, probably tell them some experience that we went through that can probably curtail their behavior. But you knocked it right on the head when you said their experience is not ours. And even though we may try in our human nature and strength to try to help them out or lead them, I have come to the conclusion, and I think I would have said it on your live as well as others that have these topics about marriage, that is just about choices. Somebody choosing to want to make it work. And not only one, it has to be both parties choosing
Parties.
to stay together, yes, mom, and literally work through every situation. Because, like you said, I had someone came to me the other day, just like you and the gentleman was saying, and the person was saying, I tried so much in my former marriage to let my spouse know that I loved him, blah, 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 and whatever. And now we are separated. We tried to get back together when things didn't work on his end, even though she had remained faithful or whatever. But she said every time that person came back, it was like they just kept on wanting. It seemed to her like they kept wanting more. And I told her what she's telling me, it seems so as well. And she also is like over 40, probably entering into her 50s. And just about 2 or 3 days ago, she literally was in tears. And she was like, Sarah, I am just so tired. I am tired because nobody seems to know what I'm going through. And like you said with the word of God, two heads are better than one. She said, we build our home together. I mostly was making more than my husband, but we still work together. But I still was wondering, I don't get it. And he went out there, he had a child, he came back, we had another child, then another one, and then we started to build on our business. And it was like nonstop. Here it goes again. She's like, I don't know what to say. Is it me? And like I was telling her, based on my ex-husband, I said my ex-husband cheated too. I said, but the very first person that he cheated with, he made up a final decision that, hey, I'm going to divorce Sarah because I want to stay with her. I said, unfortunately, they didn't stay together, but he didn't give me that back and forth kind of thing once he had already annulled the marriage and moved on with his life. I said, he still isn't married up to today, remarried, but he has two children with two different women. And it's is a little different on my end, but I can
Yes.
understand what you say. And I would bring the question back to the panel. What could we as humans do? I think the only person, like the Bible says, what God puts together, no man can put asunder. Is it that some of these marriages isn't God ordained? Because, like you said, you can see an righteous relationship or a person that doesn't believe in God, maybe even never heard about God, but their marriage is working better than a husband and wife, sometime a bishop and his wife. And you kind of like try to figure out, well, what is going on? I mean, you're all spreading the word of God, you're doing everything that seems to be godly, but you can't keep the matrimony together, that home together. Why is it? But then I go down the street and this person is in the bar with his wife. They are in the club together. They may fight every other day, but they don't never leave that home.
Mm.
It's just like, I don't know, like you
Irony
say,
of
they're
life.
doing the institution of God's mandate, but they're not in they're not in God's army. They're not, So what is it? What is it? Why
You see,
is it so hard?
I know it is hard. It's one of the things. I was on a hangout, like I said, before coming to my life, and they were asking why the question, we've been doing this now for 5 weeks. Why is the rate of separation and divorce on the rise? And one of the things that I said today is people growing selfish. And I said, because it was a Christian gathering, I said, we're in denial of the fact that once upon a time our spouse knew God. Now they've backslided, but we don't want to see them with that eye. And that's why we're not addressing certain things in them. If, for example, a woman goes out, have an affair, and in the process it wasn't just a one-off mistake or whatever, a full-blown affair, where have they placed God? Because they once knew God. Obviously this person, a lot has happened for them. They've backslided because they've gone back to who they were before they met Christ. But for us, it's like, oh, we met whilst in the Lord, we're supposed to grow in the Lord. For me, seeing this person as an unbeliever is like, no, they still know God. No, until we face certain things in our marriage and have that understanding, then we'll bring the right solution. And one thing that I know, nobody can change anybody's heart except God. Okay? We can influence people, you can encourage people, because the choice is still going to be on them. Say, for example, someone who's going to stand and say, are you sure you've not backslided? Let's pray prayer of salvation again. They'll look at you like, because of this one thing, where is the fear of God in them? Again, it's gone. That's why they can compromise little sin, big sin, and then for you who is still standing in faith, okay, it's hard, is this, you have to forgive, you strive, struggle, persuade yourself, pray, fast, cry, okay, you've forgiven, and then you embrace them. And because they are not truly repentant, they're not truly chastised, they're not truly delivered, it's just a matter of time they'll go back and do that again and again and again. But in that situation, that's why I say, if you belong to a church, you best see your leaders in the church and let them address certain things, because at least, or somebody this person is responsible to spiritually, because they're supposed to be checking in from time to time if they're still in faith. Because the truth is, some people have backslided, but they'll still go to church, raise hands and do that, and everybody feels, oh, they're okay. But something is gone wrong. Something is missing. And until it's addressed properly, this person is like, they have to find Christ again. They have to be broken again. And until that happens, I don't know. I don't know.
I think to rebut and just with that train of thought that you had just now. Like you said, um, that's all about choices as well, and for people to recognize their part in it. Once they don't recognize that, hey, I am hurting my wife, I am hurting my husband by doing whatever sin it is, I'm also hurting myself. The attitude wouldn't change no matter how much they do counseling. Some of them don't even want to come to counseling. You see that
Well,
some
that's
of
the
them,
thing. And I'm
right?
sorry,
Only
no offense
one
to men,
person,
you know,
yeah,
like
only one
honestly.
person is coming out of first. It would be two, and then you would slowly see that other one just be like, I give up. And then that other person that really, really wanted to work, you don't want to tell them that it's hopeless for me to continue just with you. But they still so daringly want to still continue because they think that they can change people. And you said it right. We cannot. I found that out so many ways, more than 100 ways. We cannot change another person. And I think that some people, they like what I should say, that platform or that title, married, or my wife this, my wife that, but
I
you're not
know.
living up to
Or they're not
that
ready to
marriage
put in the
vow.
work.
Yeah. Or my husband, my husband, my husband, but you're not living up to that that title. You just want to have that name. And I know another person, a gentleman, he and I was talking, and he was telling me the same thing. He was like, I have been married a number of times, and my latest wife, left, and I don't want to be alone, but I can't figure out why I can't stop doing what I'm doing. I know what the problem is, but I just can't stop. And then the thing is, when I do meet a person that will stick with me, or I think that I can do them horribly, and they still will stay with me and not walk out like these other ladies that I have placed the ring on it, because they more strong will. And I find that me and them clash more than when I find a more reserved, submissive woman. And I run from her because I say to myself, I could run circle around her. She can't do nothing for me. And I'm like, well, I don't know how you're gonna change your situation and your circumstance if you keep running after the people that you feel as though you two clash, and the people that you think are right for you, you're not joining hands with them. But I who am I to say? Because child, Femi, I had so many people come my way, males, and like I said, I've been divorced for a number of years, and me too. I cannot just like somebody because you love me, but y'all gotta pray for me.
I mean, you
I
have to bring your
definitely
wealth
have
of
to feel the
experience to go into
connection.
another one.
Yeah, I have to feel the connection because I feel as though, like I had told one of the gentlemen, couple of years ago. I said, "You love me and you're attracted to me, and you think that I would be the perfect person, and you ready to put the ring on it like now, today. But in you, I don't see somebody that I can say I want to share my life with."
Wow.
And it's not only about the material things, but your mindset. And then we are going to be unequally yoked. Like you said, you give your life to the Lord, but I don't need you to give your life to the Lord for me. That needs to be something personal for
Yeah,
you.
the day you offend them, they're not giving their
Then
life to
they
God
find out
anymore.
exactly. Amen. Thank you. I needed to hear that because I'm like, I cannot do it. And people, even my sisters, they're like,
Thank you,
we
Eva.
want to
Thank
see
you.
you
Thank
married.
you.
We want to see you thing. And I said, but I've already been married before, and I'm not going to put myself in a hellhole again for a divorce. When I get married again, or if God even bless me too, I don't want to get divorced. You understand? So if I already see kind of like stop signs, why would I just jump in just to say I got married? And like I went to a marriage ceremony about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and me and another lady was talking, and she was like, I've already been married twice. And child, when I find a guy again, I said, you're going to do that again? I've only been married once. I said, and I'm so afraid to go up the aisle again. I said, because marriage is very intentional. I said, if that person, I can see that you're with me and in it to win it, you're not going to be, like you said, my better half. You're not going to be there until death do us part.
Mm,
And we are not perfectly, at least we are not yoked properly, then I need to just stay single because singleness isn't a sin. It's if I
it's
fornicate,
not.
it's
It's
if I
not.
go and do the things that are not of God. But once I am living holy, it's all right because it doesn't make sense. I mean, and you have sometimes pastors and deacons and stuff. How y'all get being married 4 and 5 times? I
No.
mean, what type
Is
of
that
rest?
God's will? Is that God's will?
Yeah, it seems so, you know. So I don't want to see myself in that type of a thing. You know, I dated in the past, and that didn't lead me up any good road. So I've learned from that mistake. So, like I said, if I'm to date now, and I haven't been
Yes.
dating in over 4 or 5 years, so no, ma'am, I uh-uh. It just can't happen. And if God ain't coming down himself and slap me in my face, I'd rather be alone because, like I said, divorce is very, for some people, I guess it's just like changing their clothes. I prefer to have a boyfriend and just leave before we tie the knot because for me, marriage is sacred. And I feel like there's more heartache, there's more stress, there's more um, of an embarrassment, there's more of a disrespect to God than
Mm.
if you were just courting. You know, you already done went before God and say, until death do us part, and then 3 months later, 9 months later, you're saying, no, I don't want that lady, but you're finding another person in the church, then that one is leaving, and then you find another person, and aren't you like, I mean, we go inside the store and we touch the bread before we choose which one of them is soft enough to take home. You understand? So if we do that, we touch the fruits and look at them and see if there isn't any bruises on them before we purchase it. Why would you just pick up anybody? You know, so I just think we need to be more intentional. And those that are already in the marriages, all that counseling, all that argument, and all of that, it isn't necessary. Once both of you come to the conclusion, are you in it? Just ask each other that question. You in it to win it? They can't answer you. Then you need to just relax and hit the road, jack, and don't look back no more.
Mm.
Because it unless two is in it to win it,
Yeah.
it's not gonna work.
It'll be hard. Yeah.
How can
Thank
two
you.
work together unless they agree? Thank you.
Thank you. Before you switch your mic off, what does shared responsibility mean to you as a person? At least you've been in it, you've been there and experienced it. What does shared responsibility, what does it mean to you? Because yours might be what somebody needs to hear, to be honest. It might not be what will work for me, but what do you think shared responsibility mean?
Okay. Well, it's a bit different now that I'm older and I have children and grandchildren and stuff. So, like I said, when I was in my 20s and I got married to my husband, I felt as though once I did what he told me to do, take care of the home, take care of the house, manage my side as a female, and he goes out there and work and bring the funds home, that was okay. But now that I have acquired my own stuff, I think that if I shared responsibility for me in a relationship that I would be going into, I would want to know that our whatever resources we have can be shared equally. I would think that your kids will now be my kids. Um, and your funds, my funds, your funds. If you have a home and I have a home, those assets as ours. But I really and truly believe that even with, like I was telling my daughter, I would not want a man to move into this home with me. Nor will I want to move into his home if that was with him and his ex-wife. I would think that we should try to get something
It's
that's
of your own.
I put 5 cents and he put 5 cents, and this is ours. You understand? Because there's going to be rift with the children. So I understand that dynamic right now.
Yeah.
But yes, just working together and putting our heads together. Let's just say even our goals may be different. Me supporting you in your goals, it doesn't necessarily mean that me helping you with your vision or you helping me with my vision means that we are going two different ways. Because I've noticed that, even in the churches, a lot of people like to change the woman's vision to suit the man's vision. And I think that that causes a lot of friction in the home as well. Because if you met that lady ministering and now you say you need to shut your mouth up because now I want to be the pastor of a church and I'm going to get this church and you sit down, but before you met her, she was ever ministering. That's going to cause conflict. She was already a dance leader or, it's like you don't crush other people's dreams. You build on what you have and you work together. You work together to get the work done because, like you said, you have already spoken. The gentleman has already spoken, all right? All of us are speaking the same things, but all of us are bringing it different. Right. And so, yeah, I just feel as though for me, us working together as a team, you not delegating to say, well, okay, I'm the only one that cleans, I'm the only one that cooks. No, sometimes I might not be able to clean and cook, so you should be able to do that. Sometimes you may not be able to pay the mortgage, so I should be able to, if I have the funds, us working together. Yes, we may go 50-50 on a lot of different things. Not saying that I go with that 50-50 rule, but I'm saying that because I'm older now and I have assets, I feel as though I'm not bringing nobody in here to be another baby in my category because, some of these guys will say, well, you already have a home. I might as well just come there and I'll help you with the bills. No, that is too easy for you, my mister. Too easy. No, both of us put our 2 cents together,
Yeah.
even if I have to remortgage my home, and we get something that is called ours. The two of us become one. So when I take your name, that is totally yours and that's totally ours. But you can't come while my name is Fernanda and then put your Henry Doe on that and said this is Mr. and Mrs. Doe. So thank you.
Thank you so much. A lot of people have heard you. Thank you so much for your submission, Minister Sarah. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm looking at the time. I'm coming to you here by Flaky. Good evening. You are welcome to Insight. Please, we want to hear you. I hope your day and your week has been good. So far, so good.
Sorry.
Oh, we want to hear from you. Here by Flaky. Can you speak? Where you are? I just heard sorry. So
Yes, I'm at work at the moment. Sorry.
okay. So you can't speak,
I'll
yeah?
just listen.
Okay. All right.
Yes, I can't speak. Sorry.
All right. It's
Thank
fine.
you.
Thank you for joining in. Thank you. So I'm coming to Big Sugar. I know you just joined not too long ago, except you've been listening on the FY page. Today we're talking about marriage and responsibilities, and I've tried my best in my talk to break down the responsibility of the man, of the woman, and then their shared responsibility as well. So, just like the topic says, marriage and responsibility. So my question to us after the talk is, can shared responsibilities provide a peaceful home? If you think so, if you think not. And again, the second question is, what does shared responsibility mean to you? So I want to hear your views because, like I said, people are listening out there. I know they don't want to come in here, but it's good. At least I want to believe they'll take home one thing, that would help them in their marriage, or if they're having issues with who's doing what in their own home. As many people that are sharing today, somebody should be able to, at least get something that will be of benefit to them. So, Big Sugar, good evening. You're welcome to Insight. I hope you are good.
Good evening,
Good evening.
FunmiRoyal. Good evening, the
Good
audience.
evening.
Nice to be on your live program this evening.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, I'm sorry. God, most of the time that probably used to send me, guest requests. I might be busy. It could be the time that I just arrived from work. Like this evening, I just came back not quite long.
Oh, wow. Thank you for still joining. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Um, Actually, I don't really know what's, probably you are discussing, but what I could say, I'm saying marriage and responsibility
Yeah.
on on the view. So I don't even know, probably the discussion you have made earlier. So
Well, like I said, we talked about the role of a husband, his responsibility in the home. I just want to go over the note because of time. We know a man is supposed to be the leader in his own home, a servant leader, because being the leader, not just a leader that will be dictating who is doing what, or like that. No, with the wife, they're supposed to together, run their home. But the role of a man is different from that of a woman. And I talked about the role of a man, I talked about the role of a woman, and there's some responsibilities that they must share. For example, raising the children, they have to share that responsibility. And we know maybe in our cultures or wherever, sometimes way many centuries ago, they feel the role of the woman solely is in the kitchen and raising children. But you and I know that in this world of today, a lot of advancement, a lot of shift has taken place. Women are now in the forefront of the workplace, workforce, and all of that. So a lot has shifted. But regardless of that, we still have responsibilities as a wife, we have responsibilities as a husband, and we have responsibilities that not the man alone can do, not the woman, both of you must do together. Okay, otherwise, they will not enjoy the goodness of their marriage, so to say. And then after all the talk, we looked at why, if you don't what is it called? Let me just quickly say this. When responsibilities are ignored, love may turn cold, communication may break down, resentment can come in, frustration will grow, children will suffer, and even their spiritual life can decline as well. But if they both handle their responsibility well, even the shared one, if they both honor it, there'll be trust in that relationship. Their love would deepen for one another. There will be peace in their home. And of course, God will bless them as well. They will receive of the abundant blessings of God. So much so. So, having said all that, I'm now asking us, can shared responsibilities provide a peaceful home first? And then what does shared responsibility, what does it mean to you as a person? Because my shared responsibility with my husband might be different from yours. But the more we all share what we think is shared responsibility, somebody out there will pick from, all of our submissions, and then probably to help them in their marriage as well. So I don't know if this has helped. Yeah.
well, actually, most of my points you have said it all. So because I believe marriage, entails, a lot of hard work and responsibility. Be-
Was checking the volume. Seems a bit.
Yeah, so marriage entails a lot of hard work and responsibility because if you want to build a good home
Mm.
or want to build a beautiful family, it entails a lot of, responsibility, hard work, prayers, dedications, and others. Because, for example, now in this diaspora, nobody can do it alone.
Ah,
Wife
yeah.
cannot do it alone, and husbands cannot do it alone. So both of you need to come together, in a one spirit in order to make the marriage work. Because there is no way that a man can do it alone. and a woman cannot do it alone too. If you want a good, probably if you want a good and fruitful marriage, so it entails a lot of responsibility, and responsibility is not lies on only one. It's not lies on only one partner. It's for the both. So in order to actualize
You promise.
the major things, which is probably on children, and make the marriage colorful and beautiful. So to me, I believe it's for the both partner to come together, to plan together, to to plan together, to pray together, to work hard together in order to get a beautiful marriage. So it lies on the both partner. Unlike probably where we're coming from, that they might say that it's the responsibility of a wife to take care of home, to wash, probably to take care of the
Children.
domestic things. So it's not like that, because here in diaspora, everybody will buckle up the bends in order to make things work. So it's not lies on man alone, and it's not lies on woman alone. It's for the both responsibility to work as a team, and to make the marriage something colorful,
Boy, yeah.
something beautiful, and something fulfilling. So that is my little
Okay.
suggestion.
So, okay, thank you for that submission. I mean, I think I agree with you, and so does maybe people there as well. So, what does shared responsibility mean to you? I don't know if you're married in your marriage. What does it mean by saying we have shared responsibility? What does it mean to you?
Yeah, well, I'm married to the glory of God.
Thank
What I
God.
mean by what I mean by so what I mean by responsibility, responsibility in the it's in what I mean by responsibility lies on so many things. So
But
like
I'm
for
talking
example,
about the one that is shared between you and your wife, that there is no how, you just have to share this responsibility. It's not on you alone, it's not on her alone.
yes. What I'm trying to say that, for example, now, if my wife goes out, probably she goes to work. And it's my responsibility to take care of the kids. Sometimes to batch them.
Would that not make you less of a man? Why would we want you to do that?
Why would I? Why
Say
would
you
I?
had a baby and you had to change the pampers.
Why
Ah,
would
as
I?
a
Why would
man.
I do that? Since I don't have maid, I don't have anybody that can help me to do that. So I believe it's my co-responsibility to do that. So at least she's not a slave. You understand? Because you are married, because she's married to me, doesn't make her a slave. You understand? So there are some things that I believe you need to help your partner if you want your marriage to be fruitful, and you want your marriage to be successful. So it's not something that you can just say, okay, well, maybe you want to, you know, put something like all those traditional attitude that this one is for the wife, this one is for man. No, you need to do it together. If it comes to issue of children, you need to take care of them together. If it comes to finances, you need to probably team up to do it together.
But Big
Understand?
Sugar, I think maybe it depends. I don't want to tag African men. Let me say some African men. You know, some African men. This thing you're just saying, you don't have somebody, especially in diaspora. I've heard of a case in diaspora of African man who says if you're going out to God knows where, you must carry these children because it's not his place to look after them. Not so they have like a baby, you might have to change their pampers or whatever. And truly, this woman had to go. It was like almost like an emergency. She had to go. Like, these are your children. If you can say like half an hour with these children, I mean, and then she went, like thinking, oh, maybe he's joking. Do you know when she came back? The child had pooed. This man did not take it because he felt it's not his place to do that.
Are you talking? Are you talking Africa or in this
No, in
in
this UK,
diaspora?
this is UK I'm talking about. Bariton, I see you. Good evening, Susan. Welcome.
I don't know. Did they
Good
have
evening,
probably?
man.
Did they have a maid that probably look after them?
Maid in UK. Who has a maid?
No, I'm just asking because what you're saying is somehow baffling me. So I'm somehow surprising, to hear such, such things, from you. Because I don't believe in this diaspora, I don't believe someone can just maybe because his wife is going out, is now the responsibility of the wife to take care of the children. Is she going to, probably carry them to the work or carry them out? I don't understand. Because I believe in this diaspora, nobody will, if at all, if you have kind of mentality of maybe African mentality or traditional mentality, I believe when you get to diaspora, your eyes will open, your brain
I will
will,
tell you, this one
you're
we're not
thinking.
sharing, no. This one is the role of the wife. They won't share. Some men, some could be that they cannot cook. Fine, maybe they don't know how to cook. I get it. Some is like they don't. If go to kitchen for what now? Maybe just to get a glass of water and that's it. Anything else to the littlest thing as making a cup of tea, they will wait for the wife to come and make it because in this diaspora,
Actually,
let me put it that way.
actually, let me use myself as an example. Like me now, I can cook, but there's some food I cannot cook, like all those, swallow, and I find it probably difficult to do swallow. If when it comes to the issue of maybe rice, beans, probably make gari like a bag. We used to call it in our, local diets. Then cook, talk about soup, I mean soup rather. I can cook different kind of soup like okra, all those things.
Wow, you have a list
Ewedu,
though.
do vegetables, I can do that because I believe is sometimes when you do it, you just see it as fun, not even as I don't. Sometimes to me, I don't see it as work. I see it as fun sometimes. That at least I can still do all those things, because a lot of even when you get to hotel, a lot of men, a lot of guys work in hotel, do a lot of dishes for visitors, for their guests, so I don't see it as BD. Some people do it as as their career, and they are earning money there. They are taking family, they are taking good care of family there, they are taking good care of themselves there. So I don't see it as BD. The most important thing is understanding. When you understand your partner, so all those issue of ego or probably discriminatory in the marriage, that
Oh,
this thing is
tell
for
them they're listening. Tell them, oh.
this thing is for the man, this thing is for the woman. I don't think it's
Let, let
it's
me let
proper.
me put you on the spot, Big Sugar. Let me put you on. What meal? What was the last meal you made for you and your wife, if I can ask?
Okay, okay, okay. I made like if I could remember now, what I made last was a bar, which is
Oh,
our yes, I made a bar with okra,
oh wow, well done.
with our local liquors, as in all those. You understand what I mean by.
Wow, that question I'm going to throw it to you, Sheon. So you start thinking about it, or please tell us it was just this afternoon. We'll be so happy, but no, just kidding. Oh, thank you, Big Sugar. So please finish your submission.
So that is that. To me, is the both is the is the is the responsibility of the man and the woman to make the marriage work.
Yeah.
Whatever anything you can do, you must do it. As a sacrifice. So that is that. Especially we that were in diaspora, that we don't have probably we cannot just command maybe 3 maids or 2 maids that will be working for us. Like when we're at home, that we have different kind of maid that can be working for us. But in this diaspora, everybody's an asset. So you can't just call anybody to come and be your slave or to come and be your servant here. You need to, except if you don't want to grow. If you want to grow, you need to do it together. No matter what, you need to do it together. So no matter how probably big or how intellectual, how educated you are, you must put all those things aside and know that okay, this is my marriage. I don't want this marriage to collapse. I don't want this marriage to have issue. So what can I do to make this marriage work? It's for me to understand my partner, come together, reason together, work together, make things happen in the marriage. So that is my little submission.
Thank you. Apologies if I put you on the spot there, but just especially for men, I like to, look for trouble a bit. But it's all good. Thank you so much, Big Sugar, for your submission. I really, really, really appreciate that. I'm gonna come to you, Baritone, because you're the next in the box before Susan. Good evening, Baritone. Happy Thursday. I hope you are good. Thanks for joining us again on Insight. So before you got here, we've been talking about marriage and responsibilities. I'm just giving you a recap. I hope you are there, so I won't have to repeat myself again. But we talked about the role of the husband, biblical role of the husband, and of course the wife as well. And then we talked about shared responsibility, that this, like, an example is raising the children. Is not on the man alone to raise the children, and neither is it on the woman alone to raise the children, no matter what culture, wherever we're coming from. It's on the husband and the wife to raise their children together in that family. So we talked about different aspects as well. And well, you can start with the question tonight, which is, the first one is, can shared responsibilities provide a peaceful home? And the second question is, this shared responsibility we're talking about, it differ from couple to couple. So what is shared responsibility? What does it mean to you? Baritone, I hope you are there. Good evening.
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, and good evening to everyone
Good evening.
here and on the FYP. I don't know. Suddenly, I feel like I am in a counseling session for some reason. I don't know. All of a sudden, but anyway, this topic, I think it reminds me of, when Theresa May was Prime Minister, and I think she was being interviewed, and she did talk about boy duty and girl duty. Talked about bringing out the bin, on a bin day and all that, and what she does with it, because she was asked that question about responsibility. I mean, in a marriage, in a union of any kind, or a partnership of any kind, there is always there's got to be shared responsibilities, and I believe these are things that are, Are you hearing me?
I can hear you. 1 second, Baritone. Please, let's keep tapping so that we're not thrown out, because when we're not active in the box, TikTok does all sorts. So please, 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 thank you.
So yeah, thanks. So these are things I would say that should begin from, and in fact, that is supposed to be the essence of courtship, dating and courtship, because there you get to know each other. There you get to know what your strengths are. I know your strength, you know my own strengths, and in some cases the man is even the better cook, and where it is not something he minds. I know of homes where the man cooks, and even takes care of the kids. But then obviously there are other issues that could raise. If it depends on how these two people know themselves and know each other, how evenly they are yoked. They all, it can be complicated, but it all goes down to how well do they know themselves. Because if there is shared responsibility, then
Somebody's
the idea,
a question, Baritone.
yeah, are you the better cook? Okay, I hope you don't mind if I don't answer that question, but I cook. Let me say I cook. I love cooking. It's something I love doing, so it is a hobby, and I love
men on the spot today for whatever.
Yeah, it's something I actually really love doing, So But if responsibilities are shared, it helps with, you know, relieving stress, because if one person is doing all sorts, you know, taking the kids to school as if they're kids, and running, doing this, cleaning the house, and all that, that person, be it the man or the woman, is that person is going to be stressed. So you know, it would relieve stress to share responsibility, and the idea of resentment would be far away, because if one person keeps doing more of the stuff or what is to be done in the house, after a period of time, you know how the mind works, especially maybe if they're talking with their peers or friends, you know, why are you always the one doing everything? And the mind starts circling, and then, you know, those two people inside your head that discuss, when they start discussing, you know, and they tell you what to do, you're in trouble. You are in trouble, because in everyone's mind we have the opposing and the, you know, the two forces, and they will discuss, and that's when an idea comes to birth, you know. So, and sharing responsibilities is also good for communication, because then two people can interact, you know, occasionally they can swap. You know, it doesn't have to be a mechanical thing whereby, oh, I'll do this one and you do that. It's something that is supposed to come naturally, because if two people have known themselves over a period of time, then they would know their strengths. You know, the husband would know the strengths of his wife, and his and the witness her weaknesses, you know, and vice versa. And also, whatever they do in terms of sharing responsibilities would be an example that is shown to the kids, if there are kids in the union, because the kids would see that, oh, daddy does this and doesn't shy away from doing this. And then, you know, it would be something they would grow up with. And even when they go out and see other people, or see things being done, and know, oh, my daddy does that, my mommy does that. It wouldn't be like something that maybe one partner is bigger than, or cannot do. And then also, to be able to deal with shared responsibility, it's good, you know, we always have to talk about communication, because communication, because um if we don't communicate, you know, we lose everything. But we check in, you know, because I have to find out, how are you coping, on me? Is there anything I can do to make things better? Or, you know, and then the, or vice versa. It's got to be a two-way street, you know, where one party checks on the other, and the other does exactly the same thing, you know. And like I said, you don't have to draw a list. And I think, like you said, for me, that um it varies. One couple is different from the other, one home is always different from the other, you know. And also the idea of gratitude, you know, it doesn't have to be that maybe they are doing something, you know, that you know, maybe, oh, thank you, that, you know, like saying thank you makes it like, oh, you are a different person. But saying thank you also could be a way of making the other person feel, you know, that, oh, I have done something that he's saying, or I have done something that she is saying. And the feeling of the idea that one feels appreciated. And also it could, you know, help with breeding mutual respect, you know, that people feel that they are not taken for granted. I mean, celebrating each other's efforts. So it cannot be we can't overemphasize the idea of sharing responsibilities, and I think perhaps maybe I will leave it there for the time being, so that some other person uh, would
Oh,
say something. Yeah. Mm.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It takes two. It takes two. Whether shared responsibility, whether sole responsibility as a man or as a woman, it takes two to build in that home, to enjoying that relationship. And of course, communication is key. When we're talking about responsibilities, I won't just sit down and assume my husband should know he should be doing this, or he should think or assume I should know I should be doing this, unless we sit and talk about it. And I love the fact, I don't know whether it was you, Barrett, or somebody mentioned here before, once you're courting each other, what were you guys talking about? You don't know how
Exactly.
to build this home you're meant to be really focusing on. Because was it Sheon that said a lot of times we focus on the ashwebi of the day. Wedding preparation is what is on, and they're not even planned a year before their wedding. They've not even planned a month after the wedding what's going to happen and things like that. So we really have to be intentional, to be honest, in carrying this responsibility. We have to talk things through. We just don't sit down and assume, oh, this person will do this, that person will do that. And at the end of the day, there's conflicts arising here and there. So
Sorry,
it's
sorry. Can I? I hope you don't mind. Can I just say before I rest
yeah,
totally,
it's fine. It's
that
fine.
yeah, um, I would just like to mention that when dealing with stuff like that,
Yeah.
I did mention about checking in. Sometimes the fact that, for instance, I am the one who takes the bins out, or my wife is the one that takes the bins out.
Mm.
The fact that it's her duty does not mean that
You can't do it.
at some point it might actually be something big. I'm just using the bin thing as
Yeah.
an example. It might actually be their duty, but what is it there might be some other issues they're dealing with, and that makes it impossible for them to fulfill that task. And so I think it would be unfair or unreasonable or unthinking of the other person to say, but it is your duty. It is your duty, even after they explain things. you know uh, it's always good to feel you
But
know
let me help you even drive that home.
Okay,
Say
thanks.
the wife is one to take the bin out, and for since forever she's been doing it diligently. Now she's ill. She can't even get out of bed. And tomorrow, that's the second time she's not able to bring the bin out. You've missed it, and the bin is piling. Would you just leave the bin to keep piling because she's not well enough to even get out from bed? I mean, what would that make the spouse, the husband, to be if it was the other way as well? So there are certain things that I get what you're trying to say. We it's not like it's rubber stamped. The only thing I'm sorry to laugh. The only thing that is rubber stamp is we know is women that will push baby out. I will not come and tell you that I had the first child. Oh yeah, my husband come and carry the second pregnancy. I'll think whether I will carry the third. That one you cannot share that. That one from ages past has always been is the woman that will carry belly, that will carry pregnancy. We know that, but there's certain things that, I mean, it's in and out. Fine, somebody is assigned to do this or somebody responsible to do this does not mean we won't cross in and out of that. Because when you make it like you've sanctioned this has to be. What if life happens, things happen, and the bin seems a little, but it could be something even more tasking that your spouse is not able to. You have to step in, otherwise you both will suffer that thing at the end of the day. So when you're in sync, when I'm sorry, I'm taking words from you now. I'll hand it to round off, but just to let people know that, look, we have each person's responsibility, we have shared responsibility, but we can actually cross our individual responsibility from time to time, just to make sure that we're comfortable, like you said, checking in oh my dear, I'm supposed to do this, but guess what? I have to be in so, or something has come up, or this or that, or you had to take your child to the appointment or something, and that thing is left. Would they wait for you and time has gone? Both of you will suffer for that thing. Meanwhile, you could have just gone to do it. It's not going to reduce you as a woman or reduce you as a man. That's what we're trying to put out there, because sometimes culture, I don't know whether to blame culture for certain things, but I'll leave it there. Barito, I'm sorry, please finish your submission and then I'll come to Susan.
Oh no, no, don't be sorry because you actually helped me a lot and I really do appreciate. Yeah. Yeah. Culture is good, but sometimes I mean it has a downside to it. And of course we learn every day and we continue to learn. And of course, yeah, like you talked about being insane. Because if a couple, if partners in a marriage are in sync within the marriage, you know, um, uh, one would know where the other one is doing this and is not going to be able to come back, and you just slide into that seat and do what the other one was supposed to. No questions asked. Oh no, you on they the understanding, you understand each other to be able to, but you've got to be alive within it. You've got to be, how do I put it, you've got to be awake in the union to make it work, because if you're awake and alive to it, things will just move from this side, from husband to wife, wife to husband, without any friction. Without, of course, let me not say there's, of course, friction happens. I mean, these are two people who have come from two different backgrounds, and of course, every now and then there's going to be a misunderstanding. There's going to be arguments and all that, and but then, I mean, that's on the other side. So these things, we have to be awake. We have to be alive to it. I don't know if I can use, there's no other
Be
word, but to
conscious,
be alive,
conscious.
exactly, be conscious, to be able to get, things moving as they should. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, amazing. Susan, I'm going to come to you. Debbie, I've been seeing you there. I don't know why you're lurking around the corner there, but it's okay. You're taking your time to, digest what everybody's saying. So you bring your fire. It's okay. And if you just want to stay there, it's all right, all the same. Susan, good evening. I hope you are good. I hope you're not too tired to talk.
Good evening,
Happy
everybody.
Thursday to you.
Good evening, yeah. Good evening, everybody. Oh, wow. What a topic.
I know. God will help us.
Well, for me, I think, sometimes when we tend to blame things, but we're forgetting that we should, as you're pointing one finger, four fingers are pointing back at you.
Yes, indeed.
Because now you see that culture has done this damage. You as an individual should try and repair it. And when they say charity begins at home, you start to teach your children so that they don't make the same mistakes that we made.
Yep.
You teach your children how to cook so that they don't go to the wives and they're like, oh, you have to cook. If you no cook, I no go chop. The boys have to learn the kitchen duties. It's not a lady's duty to do that. We should sing that into our boys' ears every day. They should learn how to do it. Wash plates, cook. Start from the little things. I remember those days when back in Nigeria, my brother would be like, he no go cook for anybody. I say, so if your wife enter labor room, come out, now she go still enter kitchen. He say, yes, nah. I say, really? From then, when I'm cooking, I say, enter kitchen. Put Maggie, put this one, test them. He said, now me they cook. I said, now we they cook, test them. That was how he started learning how to cook. I said, because tomorrow you don't want one woman to start doing yanga for you because of food, and then you start buying food outside, you know. So there are lots of things we as parents we need to change
Yeah.
that mentality, because our men, they have that mentality is the woman's duty even when she's sick. I know somebody that she's not too strong. She will cook like 4 different types of food. She will have crisis. The guy will come back from work. From work he has called, make my food though, they come. In that her sick crisis body, she will still come out and start and go and be cooking. In my head, I'm like, is he handicapped? What, when we start something, there are things we start. That's why they say don't start what you cannot finish. So when you are courting, you're dating, there are things that they say, no, you go kitchen, no. Okay, I cook today, tomorrow na your turn. If we keep doing that, you see that their mentality, people, if our mentality will change. Now, talking about responsibilities, those are the things you need to discuss. But people will just, because we're in love, you forget about the things that you're supposed to discuss, and then you are just doing all lovey-dovey, thinking that marriage is a bed of roses.
Is it not?
It's not, though. There are tongues in it.
I tell you.
It's not all lovey-dovey. So those are the things we need to discuss while dating, while courting, or while doing whatever we are doing before you get married. At least you know the strength of each other. Like Barrington said, it shouldn't start from courting, from your father's house. Apostle Suleiman will say, any girl wey you carry go house and she tell you say na only indomie she sabi cook, make she go her house go learn how to cook. Go and learn how to cook, because will you survive in indomie every day? Fry plantain? No, now there are other delicacies. So that one is so okay. One of my friend, every time she will cook, so one day the husband decided to cook. He made stew. Do you know what he used to make stew? Ketchup.
Oh my God.
All the meat my friend bought, this guy used it to make stew. Ketchup. Oh. You know this big jar from Costco?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what he used. He finished that big jar for ketchup, for stew. And then he gave the children the food they didn't eat. So she came back from work. She was like, why do you have food everywhere? He said, baby, I made a stew.
You forgot to make more ketchup.
She now tasted it. She put rice, eat. What do you use to make? He said, he said, didn't I try? She just called me and was like, see wetin your brother do. I said, at least he tried. He made an effort. So at least he made an effort. That's the thing. And I remember when I was learning how to cook, when I was with my auntie, every time she will cook, you will eat. And I'm like, So one day I said, okay, let me make egusi soup. I use sugar. I'm telling you, I thought it's sugar she used to put in egusi soup that will make it sweet.
Oh
my God, she laughed and laughed. I said, he said, when I dey cook, open your eye, look wetin I dey put. You see say sugar and salt resemble, but they no be the same thing. So all those things, these are the things that they are funny now, but as of then, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. So imagine that my friend that the husband used ketchup. She was so mad. I say, if you are mad like this, tomorrow he will not make an effort.
yeah.
So leave am. No worry yourself. She no be ketchup. He said, but the meat, uncle, the meat just dey sweet like soup. I say, roast the meat. You make it as barbecue
Rinse it
chicken.
out and roast it or something. Yeah.
Ah, oh no, that week was something else. He didn't go to the kitchen. If he wants to go to the kitchen, he say, "Hope say no be ketchup in the carry o." Hope I say, he don't do, he don't do. Leave ketchup matter. So all those things, and to me, I say this is the fun of marriage. Is the fun, even though it sounded somehow, but we'll laugh about it. Sometimes I just remind them, I say, remember the day we will laugh and laugh and laugh, and life goes on. But then there are some people that don't even, that you see, that Nigerian mentality, it is the woman that has to do it. They are so lazy, they don't even know how to boil rice. They don't know how to do anything.
Big boy,
You
right?
leave the
Make a
kids with
cup of
them.
tea.
uh,
Ordinary cup of tea, sir.
I say water, they go burn water join. You leave the children with them, is wahala. You come back, poo everywhere, the house is all scattered, all those things. At least we have more men today than women. At least let's change the narratives, and help the women, because in this country now we all work. Imagine going to work and coming back, you're waiting for me to cook food for you, when you can easily go and eat your food than waiting. All those things. You're tired, she's tired. There are things, the kids are there. This one is shouting, whoa, 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 whoa. The mother will still go and put the kids to bed, and you are just there pressing your phone or watching movie. So all those things, we are all guilty about it. Both the ladies, the men, we are both guilty. It's just for us to change the narratives. It's not easy, but we can start by helping our own children so that they don't experience what we have experienced. Because if I tell you my own experience about responsibility and marriage, you
We will
will
not
not
leave
finish.
here tonight.
No, I'm working tomorrow morning, so I need to I
Okay.
need to drop the mic.
Okay.
Ah,
Are you done? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. In as much as childhood, at least some of you have an experience of the bits I've shared. One of the things I really appreciated about my father taught me to cook. And you can imagine back in those days, all his children, whether boy, girl, you have to learn to cook. This man will tell us that you have mouth, yes, you have hand to put the food in your, yes. So you go to that kitchen and prepare blah blah blah. He will come and show you how he will make the meal one time. Look, do this, do that, da da da. The next time he will tell you, that's that thing I taught you to cook. Go and make it for me. And God helping you. Hey, hey. It may not taste as nice, but God helping you that you do experiments. Only you by yourself for yourself will finish that thing. So he gave me that mentality, like growing. I mean, when I was about getting married, we thought we have boy, girl like that. But God said it's 4 boys. And I said, you know what? When you come to my house growing up, as a boy, you will see them with wooden spoon. They are cooking, they're making eba, making amala, making all this local whatever, you know. And even my traditional meal, the one you put inside that leaf, it's called ebiripo. For those who have heard of it before, you put that one in leaf. This man taught us to put in leaf. Instead of using blender, no, he went and brought the local grater, the local one. You sit on the stool, sit on that thing, and you will grate it. All your nails, all your finger, blood, everything. He taught us to do that, and then he will now show you how to fold the leaves and everything. I learned that from my father. So growing up, I didn't realize. I thought, this punishment, boy is cooking, that, but it paid off. And then I brought that to my own. I'm like, brother, you're a boy. God has not given me a girl. So you will not come and finish me in this house. You better learn. Even till my last, everybody can cook. They may be lazy to cook, but every boy in my house can cook. That one, if I've not done much, that one I am so happy that I'll always tease them like, someday you and your wife may be having arguments. She say, I'll not cook for you today. I say, you enter kitchen, you cook for yourself, cook for her, bring her food. Let's see whether the fight will still continue. So it's good whether male or female, it does not matter, because situations, I remember there was a time I was so ill that I couldn't get out of bed. Maybe that was how I used that example. And I'm not sure whether YouTube was even thank you for the ask me, was even up and running at that time. It's been years now. And of course, even my own husband, he grew up in a place where there's auntie, all this auntie, they never stop trooping their house. So they're always cooking. He got used to that. I remembered one day he was away and everybody was expecting he was coming back. We're so happy. And of course, he said, he's missed my jollof rice, that. I said, okay. Meanwhile, I've told the boss, I said, your dad is coming back. Oh, you people, you have to make his jollof rice. They're like, I said, don't worry. We're cooking it together, but you lot will do the cooking. So when he came back with his plantain, everything, he ate. He said, I've really missed your jollof rice. I said, see them, see their face. So your children made that jollof rice, not me. He was not dazed. I don't know the word. Was shocked. Like, you mean they made it? Wasn't you? I said, no. They've been learning to cook. I've been teaching them. So if it tasted that good, I mean, you can imagine, of course, as they grew, in fact, one of them, he said, I want to be a chef when I grow up. Now, if you tell him, he said, I never said that. But anyway, that aside, so they got good, and he was even challenged himself. I remember one time, I think maybe I had gone to work. You know, people working from home. At the time, there was some work from home thing. I came back, everyone was smelling. I'm like, what has happened? Okay, the boys, you guys decided to. They said, no, dad made it. I said, this one, I will eat 10 bowls. The smell alone was calling for me. And I ate it. I'm like, wow. So you've been suffering me all these years. So you can cook this good jollof rice, you've been suffering me. And gradually, it was a thing, He would even experiment here and there. What am I trying to say? It helps. Things like this does help. If a woman can get up, go to work 9 to 5 or whatever, which technically, culturally, men are supposed to be doing, but she is doing it, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? Changing one pampers here and there, putting the rice on the thing. Even if you can't make stew, make the rice. Let the rice be boiling while she comes and make the stew. Together, that's why I said shared responsibility. There is no how you will do that for your wife that she'll say you're not doing your responsibility or you're not taking up your responsibility. It goes beyond that, but that's part of it as well. And little things like that, it can bring a bigger conflict just because one day she's back and just worn out and there's nothing, she has to start from scratch. Meanwhile, this man has been back since, reading newspaper, watching football and all. Pity now. Do you want somebody to treat your own daughter like that? I don't even know what else I can say. We all drink water. We drink water and go to bed. Somebody will come and faint while they're sleeping. No, everybody will have to eat. At the worst, you go and order something for everybody to eat. What am I trying to say? Shared responsibility, it makes the marriage even sweeter. As long as we know that if I don't do this, we all will suffer. If you don't do this, we all will suffer. If we have that mindset, don't say, it's you. If you don't do it, it's only you that will suffer. No, we all will suffer. And we don't want to suffer. So in as much as it lies with us, we have to carry each other, carry that responsibility together, whether it's a shared responsibility, whether it's individual responsibility, because sometimes it's hard. I know. Shine, I see you. Let me bring you up. Maybe you really want to round it up for us tonight. Pampa Milosh, I see you. Rabbit, I see you. Fashion business coach. Debbie, I see you too. Please, if you don't mind coming up. So like I said, back in the day, the man will go to farm or whatever it is, bring food. The wife will cook. She's looking after the children because that was what she was doing. No 9 to 5. Sometimes they may go with the husband to the farm, but he will send them off. Once the sun is setting like this, he will send them off home and he will carry on. They will just go and start making food and all of that. But you and I know that today, sometimes some women have to leave their husband, leave their children and travel sometimes a week or whatever and do certain things, does that mean the children will suffer? Does that mean the husband too will suffer just because he cannot cook for the life of me? Because mostly that's the situation. I'm not saying all women can cook, oh, don't get me wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. And if that man cooks for himself and the children, is it that bad? Is it that bad? Or because culture says men are not supposed to be in the kitchen or what? I don't know. So we really need to help one another if we truly want to enjoy this marriage, the goodness. I keep saying that the goodness of marriage we've been talking about. It's very important because these things, it breaks homes. It makes couples separate. And when you ask, they say he's not doing his responsibility, she's not doing her responsibility, and all of that. And you find out that they're going their separate ways. And if care is not taken, it can even lead to divorce. And they say because they're not taking up their responsibility, I've suffered enough, I can't take it anymore. This and that, So let's be mindful so that, we will reduce the level of divorce rate in our community as much as it lies with us. If I cook, if you cook, as long as we don't starve, there's raw food and nobody to cook, we will starve now. We want to eat raw rice. Anyway, let me stop. But thank you all so much for your contribution. Shine, you're welcome in. I saw you not too long ago, but we're talking today about marriage and responsibility. I've talked about the role of the husband. He's supposed to be a leader, but a servant leader. The wife's supposed to love, respect. Both parties need respect, don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to paraphrase now. And then we talked about the shared role that they have, for example, raising their children, committing to their finances. They have to do this together, not just one-sided. I had a client, was it late last year or mid last year, who came and said, the husband wasn't working at the time. She managed to get this job and she doesn't even have an account in her name. It was in the husband's name, both his salary when he was working and now that she's working because he wasn't working, everything goes to this man's account. That as little as her buying her sanitary towel, whatever, if it's £5 or whatever, she would have to go to the man. Meanwhile, she's the one earning at the time. Go to the man and ask for money to buy that. In fact, I was shocked to my bones hearing that in this 21st century. Said yes, she doesn't get even the money for groceries is like it's counted because they'll tell you oranges pack of 5 oranges is for 1.99. He would put 1.99. If it's it was that bad. I'm like, in this present day and age, and you're working, so that means you can't even say you want to treat yourself and buy a perfume, or no, it has to be on his terms. And of course, at the time I was speaking with this client, the man had left or was given a court order, a lot of things that happened. But what am I trying to say? Sometimes you find out that some people are still living in that 18th century, in this 21st century. And how can that relationship work? These are things I feel people should talk about before they get to, marriage. Because marriage, hey, may we have understanding. So my question to us, Shine, is can shared responsibilities provide a peaceful home? And then secondly is, what does shared responsibility, what does it mean to you as a person? Because I know you're married, so you might be able to share one or two with us. Good evening, Shine. It's good to see you. Wow, you went on sabbatical leave, or which one now?
It was a very, very long sabbatical leave.
Wow, we miss you.
2 weeks.
Welcome back.
I missed everybody too. I got
Let me let you,
the
because I remember one time I sent a message. I said, let me just let you be for now. I get it.
yes. I got notification. I was on a walk when I got notification. So I said to myself, maybe when I get back home, I would join eventually. But I'm glad I still made it. I could still make it here today. I missed everybody. I missed you, our host, and of course, I saw you. I saw you somewhere on Saturday. We saw somewhere on Saturday, yes, but then I've missed being here. Actually, so yes, shared responsibility is basically you knowing what you should do. Shared responsibility to me is not defining the roles by the books, right? It's not defining the roles by the books to say oh, as a woman, you must do this, and as a man, you must do this. However, there are certain roles that as a man you should pick up. For instance, when right in this part of the world where we are, we still have alternative power supplies that we provide for ourselves. So, say your generating set needs to be refueled. I mean, it just looks like a default setting for you to be able to take care of certain things as the man of the house, right? However, there are no set rules to say this must be you and this must be me. I think I've mentioned it here before somewhere that, at some point when we didn't have a hand to be with us, and we needed to take care of our children, we would wake up very early. We don't, it's not like we even choose who to bathe, but by default, you just know that when this one is doing this, when my wife is in the kitchen trying to fix the meal, I should be able to bathe the children. There's been a period where she also had to travel for certain engagements outside our city, and I was left with the children. I mean, of course, they had to be taken care of.
Daddy daycare.
Oh yes, they had to be taken care of. So there are no rules. But what I've just also observed is that when you now start to define your shared responsibility by the books, it becomes an issue because one person sometimes might feel overwhelmed by this shared responsibility. So it's just you knowing that, I mean, you are you and she is who she is. At the same time, you are her and she's you. Part of the things I had to settle in my head is that, do I tell myself thank you when I wash my own clothes or when I take care of my own shoes? For instance, okay, now we have a machine, right? But when I take care of my own shoes or I fold my clothes and put them in my wardrobe or clear my desk, do I tell myself thank you? How come I'm always demanding from my wife that she must or she has to? I mean, that is me. I mean, this is me settling it in my head, though, so that I don't find myself in spaces where I begin to look for contention and begin to get myself overworked. So I'm not dragging her to say thank you to me. I'm not dragging her to say, oh, well done. She says those things, and trust me, whenever she says it, it enters the very, very marrow of my bones, right? But I love it. However, I'm not going to start placing demand so that when I don't hear it, I'm not hurting and I'm not bitter against her. So there are things that you should find. I mean, these are not rules that somebody will write for you in the books and say you must and you. I mean, there are several books, not just certain. There are several books on relationships that I've read and I've said to myself, this cannot work in my home, right? Because you don't understand what is happening here. That is not to say that it did not work for you. It worked for you, but it cannot become a casting stone. It cannot become a casting iron and say that this has become the golden rule, right? I've seen men buy their wives flowers that they ended up junking. Like, you just threw it in the bin and said, what nonsense is this? Well, who are you buying flower for? Do I look like a goat? I mean, women, really. So it means that is not their love language. Now, you don't go beating them saying, oh, can you imagine? I'm pushing myself. I've done my best. I buy you flowers all the time. And for others, you don't have to buy them anything. Just get them one petal. I'm not even saying the bunch of roses. I'm saying a petal. Just pluck one and just give to them and say, oh, this is from my heart to yours. And they will pull down the heavens for you. So you must just know what works for you and begin to toe that line. In as much as we're always looking for how to better ourselves, we should also know what you need to adapt and adopt if that works for your home. Because it's not everything that you adopt that you can adapt. Sometimes you go borrow some strange gods and bring to your home, and you are saying it works in Mr. A's home and they've been 55 years together. And you bring it to your home and it's going to end up shattering yours in less than 5 years. So you should know exactly. So you should know exactly what you can adopt, right, and adapt to your home. Everything cannot work for you. For the fact that it's working for me does not mean it can work for you. I was somewhere, I think it was a marriage ceremony that was conducted, and one of the ministers that ministered said, oh, me, when my wife, the minister that preached said, oh, when my wife is not this, I just go straight to the kitchen and cook. When I came up the podium, I just said to the groom, I said, Oga, if you don't know how to cook here, don't just jump and start to give this woman burnt offering, because she also did not come to your house to be eating burnt offering. Don't be giving him undone offering. if you know you are going to do that, you must first go learn how to cook. Don't just begin to jump and say, I want to impress my wife. At the end of the day, you boil fish, the fish is not properly boiled, vegetables are upside down. You are cooking a local delicacy called egusi. There is water on one side, there is fish on one side, there's like Red Sea. Everything is divided, they have their own places. And then you say you're not impressing her. You're oppressing her. You're oppressing her. You have become the witch in the house. So you must know exactly what works. And I just make sure that your home has got the flavor that it needs to just keep growing, to keep blossoming, to keep flourishing, to just be the best that you want it to be. Not in comparison to what somebody is saying, not in comparison to what this other person said it should look like, but basically what you know that works for your home. But then it is established that you must learn to share responsibilities. I mean, sharing responsibilities is bearing each other's burden. That's basically what it's all about, from my perspective. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let me put you on the spot as well, Shine. And I'm coming for you, Sheon. Shine, what was the last meal you prepared for you and your wife, or maybe with the children as well?
The last meal I prepared. Let me go and check my books.
What books? You should still be remembering now, because I'm sure there will be
The last meal I prepared. That probably should be noodles.
Okay.
I think. Maybe noodles and...
If it wasn't last year, what was it?
Madeline is cracking. I can't hear you clearly.
I said, I hope it wasn't last year you made that.
I'm telling you that the line is cracking. I still can't hear you clearly.
May God forgive you.
Amen. I receive forgiveness from above.
May God, I'm coming to you. Okay, thank you for sharing. Baritone, let me ask you too. What was the last meal you made for you and your wife, or maybe the children as well? I don't know. Did I ask you before? No, it was somebody else I asked. Baritone, I know you're still there.
How do you know?
Don't tell me your own line too is cracking, or TikTok threw you out.
Network signal. I think it was some sauce. It was a vegetable sauce with chicken and potato. It was I don't know how to put, but it was air fried potato, something like that.
How long ago was that meal?
2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
No, yesterday. Sorry.
Wow. You're representing us.
And it was edible. Sorry to say.
Yeah. I actually enjoy cooking. I love cooking.
Good evening, Kenneth.
Not necessarily for myself.
You enjoy it, so you may enjoy it, but do people enjoy eating it as well?
Yeah. Actually, it's now I understand what happens to most women, that if they cook for their husbands and he doesn't, maybe he comes back, I'm not hungry. And, you hear that story, Shine, that I'm not hungry, and then the woman feels bad, he's not eating my food. So if I want to cook and I don't have people to cook for, or people who eat my food, I'm not going to be happy, because I prefer cooking for people than cooking for myself. It's a hobby. It's something I love. It's one of the things that, because whilst you're cooking, your mind is working. You're thinking about a lot of things. You're thinking whilst you're doing dishes, and that's another thing I like doing.
Now, is it therapeutic for you then?
Very, very. Doing dishes also. Doing dishes, I love doing dishes.
We have some dishes in my kitchen.
Harrington, where's the location, please? December on you. December is on you. December hangout. FunmiRoyal, we're going to do December hangout.
Oh yes,
at his place.
Freshly made sauce for all of us.
that's no problem. We have a what do you
That's
call
my
a dish
diary.
a dishwasher, but I've turned it into a storage compartment
Oh,
because I
wow.
prefer to do the dishes with my hands because it's like you say, it's therapeutic because you use that time, to think about a lot of things or think things through, and then you take a lot of decisions whilst you're doing dishes, and nobody knows what's going on inside your
Fine.
head.
Are you hearing? Cheryl, are you hearing? Kenneth, are
My
you hearing
the
this?
earpiece is not clear very well. I'm probably going to call him personally.
Please
I
now, Sean, why
swear.
have you come back half cooked with your phone like this? Please now, Haba. Eh?
Ah, but I really, I'm taking notes though. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm learning. Yes.
That's good. I mean, for a man, finding that therapeutic. Sean, please unmute. We want to hear from you. What was the last meal you cooked for yourself and your wife, your children? Thank you, Baritone. Thank you for sharing.
Funny enough, I actually cooked tonight.
Oh, wow.
All the
Ooh,
relatives
good
were
on you,
cooking.
man.
Tonight, you
I
guys are
cooked
not
Mm.
for the whole
So
supporting
family
your
what is
tonight
the
woman.
because she
meal?
had a meeting that was running till about 8 o'clock.
Wow.
And I kind of hate eating late. So
Okay.
once I noticed that her meeting was running over 7 o'clock, I just got into the kitchen and I cooked for the entire family. Even my mom is off right now.
Oh, wow. So what
So
did
to
you
be
make?
honest, I don't like cooking. I only cook unless I have to.
So what did you make? Thank you for sharing. What
It,
did
it
you make?
was it was barbecue chicken and chips.
Ooh,
Ooh.
ooh,
Ooh, fancy.
Fancy.
that's posh.
Even though my wife was the one that taught me how to make it. But
Oh, thank you for acknowledging
so when
that.
Baritone was talking about therapeutic cooking, it was a
Is it
bit
for
difficult
you?
to take in.
You say?
I said when Baritone was saying it was therapeutic cooking,
Was
I,
it for you too?
I was laughing. No, 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 it's not therapeutic. It's not. I can't even say therapeutic.
Oh my
You
god.
know.
So for you it's a chore, like you just have to do this.
Yes, yes. It's not that I hate it, but I just don't like it. I rather
Yeah,
I don't. I prefer cleaning the house.
yeah.
Than cooking.
But
But
we all
some of
have
us,
different
after
things
cooking,
we
we need a
enjoy and
therapy
get.
though.
You say what did you say, Shine?
For some of us, after cooking, we need a therapy. It's not therapeutic at all. We need a therapy after cooking.
You see what I mean? That's what I mean by saying that every home is different. What works here might not work here. What it doesn't mean we're failing. Let me put it that way.
Exactly. Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't mean
But
we're failing because
I think they
every
are also they're sharing responsibilities in in other spheres, not necessarily cooking. It doesn't have to be cooking, actually, like you said. Yeah. But then, if I may, it's
yeah,
something Susan. I think Susan said, which is coming up, and obviously you can see it in the discourse, the way it's going in the last few minutes.
yeah,
No
yeah.
one no one gives what he doesn't have. They said, as Susan said, it doesn't even start whilst you're dating. It's from how you were brought up. It
Thank
goes right back then because if parents don't instill these values, these qualities, these mores within their kids, they don't grow up with them.
yeah.
And if they don't grow up with them,
It will be hard.
they don't mature into adults that can stand up for themselves. If their names are called, that they would be the people that would go into marriages and succeed. Because marriage is a, like some people will say, marriage is a scam. This marriage is a responsibility. It's a big. It's a
Big time.
man. If
Yeah.
you're not ready, you will run. You will run. That's why, I think for anybody listening, on the FYP, if anybody is not instilling some of these basic, things, in their kids, start now. Start now. Let them know something. Let them know one little thing after another. Because as they learn, that's so you go lie, that's so you go rise, as you lie on your bed, that's how you make the bed, you make the bed, you lie on the bed and all that. So it's quite important so that by the time you mature into a young adult as a child and mature into a young adult, some of these things, passive learning, they're already ingrained in you. And you find that you do autopilot because it's part and parcel of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Kenneth, I'm going to come to you because we're beginning to wind down now. There's some things coming to mind. Don't worry. I don't want to talk. My own boys took it to another level. One time I saw this scale, food measuring scale thing. I'm like, it is. And I'm like, who bought this? Who bought that? They say, I'm measuring my chicken. I'm measuring this. I'm like, hey, okay, to another level. They all not have passed my own. Thank you for sharing. I'm gonna come to Kenneth. I know I saw you not too long ago, so I don't know how much of the talk or discussions you've heard, but we're talking about marriage and responsibilities, the role of the man, the role of the woman, and certain things that they have to share the responsibility. Like example is raising the children, the finances, some aspects of marriage that it cannot just be the man, cannot just be the woman. They have to come together to do this. So I'm asking after the talk, what does shared responsibility mean to you? Like we said, every marriage is different, everybody is different in their marriages. And then, can shared responsibilities provide a peaceful home? So you can start with either of those questions, or if you have something you want to share with us regarding marriage and responsibility. So the floor is yours. Good evening and welcome once again.
Good evening, host, and good evening, the men and the women in the house. I want to first of all congratulate the men for taking the responsibility. That man that God wants us to be, because gone are those days where we used to leave everything. Like when we're growing up, we saw what our mother was doing, and that is what encourages us today for us to take over our mother, and I want our sons and our daughter to do the same as well. Because one of those days where our father will be outside and waiting for the food to be ready. Now we stand by our women doing whatever they are doing, and where they don't have that chance or that time to do it, we take responsibility as the men and put our children in charge to watch us doing what we love doing. And if it's cooking, or if it's cleaning, or if it's maybe arranging the room, make sure the house is tidying. One of those days where we leave everything for the women. Now we the men, we take responsibility as well, because that shows that we are the head that God wants us to be here on it. Like me, I like cooking. I like cooking. Once in a while.
Wow.
Not always. But when I see that my wife is tired or busy, I call my son, and I'm very happy. My sons and my daughter, they are taking over. They don't wait for the mom anymore. That mom, you're hungry. No, when they're hungry, they go to the fridge, look what they will do, and start doing it. At the end of it, the mom will be happy. So you people know that I'm tired, because we know when that sign is there, we see that she can't do anything. We don't wait for her, because we are seeing in those days where we're growing up, the women, I want to appreciate them. I want to appreciate our mom, because they do everything to make sure we have something to eat. But I blame our fathers in one certain stage, because you can't just leave everything for your wife to take responsibility for the cooking, everything. They say that it's our African mentality. Gone are those days. Now we the men, we take responsibility. We help our women. If it's to go to the market, give us the list. We are going to bring everything on, anything that you want. And that is the joy and that is the happiness of a family, that when once in a while the man enter the kitchen and cook, and the whole family and my children, and they do enjoy it because like mostly Italian food, because I learn how to do Italian, all this pasta and all this meat, all those
Chicken
they do
Alfredo.
like all those things, and this spinach soup, all this
Bolognese.
granite soup. Once in a while I enter the kitchen and I do it, and I enjoy doing it. There is a joy that come out of me when I'm doing it, because everybody will say, if the food not ready, is the food not ready? They want to test what that is doing. They want to assist to see that everything comes ready and we all eat as a family. That is the most marriage and responsibility that I feel, that any man that is not doing it and is missing, and they need to learn how to do it, because that is the joy to live as a family, and that builds you and your own. Because when the kids see you that you are in the kitchen, they are happy because they know that something different is coming to the table that day. And when you continue doing this, it help your children, like as the last speaker has said, it help your children as well, to build that confidence that even when they are alone, when you are not there, the mom or the dad is not there, they are able to put one or two together. At the end of the day, you see that at these kids, they are grown up. And that is the joy of a father, and that is the joy of a mother. So for me, I urge all the men and the women to make sure when you are cooking, your child or your the men or female, let them stand by you. Don't just let them sit down playing this game. No, let them stand by you. Teach them how to do something, because there is the time when you'll be weak, where you'll be tired, or maybe you are not around. You just tell them, do so and so for me. And when you come back, you see that they do, you will be happy because they are learning and they are growing. And that is the joy and the responsibility of a marriage and responsibility. God bless you all.
Thank you. In fact, whilst we were at it, I wish my husband was here. He would have shared his own too. His own too was this evening, actually. I remember receiving a text. When you people are working from home, I mean, it's even advantageous for your family, so to say. And it was like, I was so extremely tired. I managed to boil the beef, everything. I left it. I just had to go and knock off, because yesterday, my oh my. So today off, it's like it's only me that even goes out to work in this house. Can you imagine? Everybody's working from home. And then they say, oh, that chicken you left, what were you planning to do? I said, well, I wanted to use air fryer today. He was asking, I was wondering why. He said, okay. And then by the time I came back home, anyways, when I opened the door, hey, I said, I think something has happened here. See, you know those stew that you go to Buka? That's the thing. I'm like, I don't know. Even me, I try sometimes. I will forcefully try to cook those Buka stew. The thing will not just cook, so to say. And this one, and rice had boiled, and I'm like, seriously? So I didn't have to, because as I came, I was just washing, getting ready to bring the pepper and start cooking and all. I just saw this big pot of stew. I opened, I said, wow, hallelujah. Hey, I said, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. As I was dishing the thing, because I needed to eat, because I had the program and all of that, I said, wow. In fact, on behalf of all of us here, we are proud of our men. Thank you so much for at least sharing that responsibility with us. Honestly, thank you all so much. So I'm one. If he was here too, you come and share his rice and stew. I still want to ask him, how do you make this thing now? Even me, when I tried, I don't make it like, honestly, it was like those buka stew. So you people, you have to release me, because I still need to go and eat one more round, even though it's very late now. So what am I trying to say? Shared responsibility, because like Kenneth said, and quite a number of people have said, a time might come that maybe this person is supposed to do this and they just can't for whatever reason. We will not fold our arms and say, yeah, it's your responsibility, I'm not going to. It doesn't work like that. We have to carry one another's burden, carry one another's responsibility from time to time. It doesn't mean they've shared everything on you. You just have to know. But at that point in time, things happen. And you might have to even do it for a period of time until they're able to come and resume, that particular responsibility, whatever it is. We're supposed to be each other's keeper. You know, sometimes we go and do things for outsiders, but we can't do it for our own people inside. Sometimes I don't understand us. But all the same, let us be mindful. Marriage comes with responsibility, whether shared, whether individual. Let us make sure that we're committed, you know, to fulfilling our part of this responsibility so that there will be peace in our homes, so that we can enjoy the goodness of marriage. Kenneth, before you go, what was the last meal you cooked? Did I ask you? Did I ask you? I
No,
asked.
you didn't ask me.
So I'm asking you, what was the last meal you cooked? Anytime ago that you remember.
I do this Italian bistecca. You know,
Yeah, Priscilla.
bistecca. They call it bistecca. This roasted meat and
Oh, okay.
pasta.
Oh,
Yeah, I did it
wow.
for the kids and for my wife as well. So they like it because anytime they know that are in the kitchen, they know that something different.
How long ago did you make this?
I think a week ago.
Oh, well
A week
done.
ago.
So our men are evolving. No, they don't want their wives to just die in the kitchen like that. So thank you once again, all our. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. At least this one we appreciate you. That you can cook and feed your family. Honestly, God, you will not lack any good thing in the name of Jesus. That's my prayer for you. Thank you so much. Say burnt offering, no, any cooking. No, you guys, I know you're chatting there. No, we don't want burnt offering, please. If we're doing barbecue, let's know we're doing barbecue. We don't want any burnt offering. Thank you so much. I don't know if Debbie wants to say anything. I know you said you just here to listen and learn, blah blah blah. I hear you, but maybe you just have one or two to say before we finally round up for tonight. Oh, actually, I have a puzzle, and I'm giving us the puzzle. So let's
I
hear
just,
you, Debbie, and then I'll bring my
I just
puzzle.
came to take offering and listen to elders.
I hear you. Good evening. I hope you're good.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Shine, where have you been? I
Been to
thank you, Mr. Barrington. I came here to collect offering. You see, all this one you are talking about now. Some of us we will need therapists after the cooking. I don't like stress. I don't like
Exactly,
stress.
oh, exactly.
I
But
don't
I've
like stress.
I've been around. God has been with me too.
this well.
Hallelujah. It's good to
Glory to
see you.
God. Good to see you
Amen.
too.
Just to say this, I appreciate everyone. Sorry, Debbie, I'll let you talk. But a heart meal would really suffice. I don't know why they say we have to say that.
I have
But as
sent you and asked me. Oh. I
you
said they
have
want me to
them, it's
remove
just
my.
so that you support
Maybe
this
they want me
community.
to. Maybe they want me to remove my heart and send it to you.
Maybe Debbie can say it better because this cannot talk. I don't know. It is well. Let's just go by TikTok rules so they won't push us out.
Yeah, some they ask you to what's it called for the gift. The art me is like for your community for the community, so it keeps art going.
Oh,
So it makes TikTok still recognizes and
thank
I don't
you.
know. There's a way I don't really understand it very much, but I know that's what it does.
Oh,
So
thank you
please
for
send the
that.
at me, send a rose. If you can't send a lion, you can send that through me.
So that
I'm the
rose,
first.
actually, you can see that target thing where the flower is. If you click on top, you can add the rose there. So it will count. I think it counts for something. I don't know. But my
Yeah,
goal for today, if you can support that goal for today, instead of, just randomly. So if you
yeah,
click
it
on
counts.
there,
It gives you level and it makes it.
oh, I think I'm
Uh,
seeing some.
what's it called? Letting people know about your page and all that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't really know much about all these things.
I know, but we can't see your goal. My goal is up there where you have 29
Yeah,
over 405.
why you see the 29,405?
When you see that face cap, if you click on it, now it's showing some. You have to wait. Don't if you click. Thank
You click on increase.
you. So that's where my goal is every week, really. So even if it's one rose, if you go there and click on it, it does count somehow. I don't know, but it does count. So thank you all so much. So Debbie, yeah, let's hear you,
Okay, what
please.
do you want me to say?
Uh,
You
uh,
say you want to drop puzzle. Drop the puzzle now.
Oh, it's puzzle you're here for. Okay, you
What
don't
do you
have
want me
anything
to
to
say? You
talk
have
about
people have
marriage and
okay, what do you
responsibility.
people have talked. Everybody have talked. I believe see everybody
Oh,
marriage is
thank you for the card.
marriage is unique to individual. Do what works for your marriage. I know there are some people, as much as we say there are some people that no matter how much the man wants to try to be there to cook or do anything, he would rather rent a cook for the family. It's not because he don't want to do it. It's not because he can't even cook. It's because the responsibility God put in his life, he can't be physically available to do it. So we
Wow.
can't compare A's married to B's married. Some people is the women that are not or will never be available to do the cooking or do the house chore. They will rather get a help. It's not because they don't want to. It's just that
You don't have
what
the
they are doing, maybe their career, maybe life, maybe the assignment, the other assignments they have, as long as their partners understand. Marriage is unique to everybody as long as you know the purpose why you marry, why you are in the marriage, and why you marry the person, and you guys work together. It's okay. Can't you work together except they agree? Mhm. So I think everybody should just do offering. As for me, I come here to learn and I come to collect offering. So I like that everybody is dropping their offering. God bless you. What's the song? What's the song we sing again?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Your
I'm looking
contribution
for
or
the song.
addition. Which song are we
Eh?
singing? Which
For
song
the
are we
offering
singing?
now.
Yeah, sing. Naturally, you're here to do that.
I forgot it.
I'm trying
Mr.
to
Shine
play.
can help us.
Mr. Shine. Mr. Shine. Maybe he's on the phone. Mr. Shine, they
Oh,
say you
oh
should
yeah,
sing the offering.
oh yeah, drop the puzzle.
The
Oh,
last time I
sure.
See,
checked, I wasn't. Hello,
this
ma.
one that the
Hello,
line
ma.
are here today. Drop the puzzle.
Hello, ma. The last time I checked, I wasn't in the choir.
Have a lovely
Mr.
day.
Show, Mr. Show, if you drop off, you will see me in your dream. Not when we want to drop the puzzle.
So the puzzle for today is
Back
why
down.
was the IT guy in the hospital? Why
Ah.
was the IT guy in the hospital?
Oh yeah, this question is for the men.
Ah, what is it? It's everybody's responsibility to answer. Shemon dropped off. He has dropped off. Why was the IT guy in the hospital? I hear you. Thank you so much, Sheon. Thanks. Oh, he's coming back, is he? Lily. I hope Lily is not here to take our offering prize for today. Lily, Serena, good evening. I hope you are good. Hello, Lily. We can't hear you. Are you there?
Power on. Hearing.
Hello. Okay. Anyways,
Connected.
hello.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I
Can
brought
you
you
hear me?
up. Yes, I can hear you now. Good evening.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. I don't know if you want to contribute to our talk or you want to answer the puzzle.
Yeah, let me just chip in something little. I
Okay.
just joined now.
Oh,
I've
okay.
not
You're
joined in a
welcome.
while though. Marriage and responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So, responsibilities in marriage,
Thank
are
you,
just thoughts
Mr.
that,
Shine.
make
I don't know if
marriage
you're the
works.
sorry, 1 second, Lily. Shine, are you the first? You're not the first person, Shine. Let me go back. I have to scroll back because I didn't think anybody answered. Sorry, I'm sorry, Lily. 1 second. So he
No
got into a
problem.
baritone. No, baritone came back and said, by touching the firewall. So yeah, baritone. Congratulations, is yours. The ice cream and donuts all for you tonight. We're not cooking. We're just indulging tonight. So there you go. Yes, because he touched the firewall, so he ended up in the hospital. That was easy, I guess. Thank you. Oh, we're exchanging gifts now. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Baritone. Thank you. Appreciated. So, Lily, please, I'm so sorry. The floor is yours. Yay. Thank you, Shine. Oh, goal achieved. So is it because everybody did not know that that's where the goal is? Every time that's where the goal is. Even if you go to other people's life, always look out for their goals so that as much as you can help with. Thank you all so much. Yes, Lily. I don't know. Sorry about that. Yeah, go on, Lily. Let's hear you. Oh, I think a phone call has just come in for her, something. Are you there, Lily?
Like emotional. I'm here.
Oh, okay. We didn't hear anything you said, though.
Okay. I said that one primary as a responsibility of marriage is providing support for each other. Like the
Okay.
husband, that's one thing I feel. The husband providing support for the wife, the wife doing the same. Just as we all know that the husband is the head. Oh, I had to decline this. Yeah, sorry. I call entered. I had to drop it.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Susan.
both party providing support for each other. You know, when as in the husband is doing what he's supposed to do in a marriage, definitely, like I know, like the wife becomes submissive. You know, like he don't need to maybe ask for it. Do you understand? You don't really need to. So far as you're doing the particular thing you're supposed to be doing as a husband, that's your own support. The wife on her own will definitely, comply. Because I know that when one person is not doing the right thing, and the other person but that's where we will start maybe fighting for. How will I even put it? Maybe fighting for. Will I say? I don't know how to fix this now, so it will be very, very understandable. Some persons love respect, some guys love respect too much, but if you're giving that support you're supposed to give, naturally the respect comes. But if you're not giving it, you find out that you have to start asking. Instead of that thing coming naturally, instead of that respect your wife is supposed to give you coming naturally, like it will not come naturally because you're not giving him the support. So for me, emotional support from each other makes marriage work. This is a little I have to chip in.
Okay. Thank you. Emotional responsibility. The fact that they say women are more emotional does not mean that the man does not need emotional support.
I have a
Why?
question
Am
for
I
I have a
wrong?
question for Lily.
Okay, please. Lily?
Lily, I hope you don't mind.
No,
You
no.
Don't test Lily for me, oh please. I think it's your first. Is it your first time in the box?
No, just ask. I know I literally didn't join early, right? I always like coming up when I've listened to every other person. At least I will have an
no. The
idea of.
question,
Okay,
the
don't be
question,
scared. Don't be scared.
the
Okay.
Baritone,
question,
please mind yourself what you're about to ask.
the question is from something you said.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so am I to understand that whatever is supposed to be a condition precedent for the respect?
Sorry, come again.
Okay, you talked about the subject and that the man is
Yeah.
supposed to do this, that, because the man loves respect, and if he doesn't do it, the
Yeah.
respect doesn't come. Is whatever he's supposed to do, is it supposed to be a condition precedent that it must happen before the respect comes? Is the respect dependent on that? Do you believe it's dependent on that?
No. It's not dependent. It's not dependent, right? You're
Right.
asking if respect is dependent on the support the husband will give, isn't it?
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So it's not dependent, but if you listen to what I said earlier, I said as in one thing I feel that makes marriage work is support from each other. Like the husband needs to do this, the wife has to also support as well. It's not just the husband giving the support alone. But as in I just why I cited the respect thing is like some guys, I'm single, I'm not married yet. Well, I know I've encountered a lot of guys that will always tell me much about respect. I love respect. You're gonna respect, and you've not really done nothing. You've not even shown anything. I feel respect is earned naturally. Like people need to respect
Not
each other, but
commanded.
I feel there are some things you do, and the respect will flow. It doesn't mean that maybe if you're not doing this, the respect shouldn't be there. But people respect as in naturally. But there are some things that I would say as in energizes that push the respect. So that's why I just mentioned the support. If you're supporting your wife and as a husband, definitely that respect come as in there's respect already, but it will push the woman to do more. That's what I
To
feel.
flow
That's
more.
what I feel. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if baritone is satisfied with your response.
Okay. I don't know. Like he will tell me if he's satisfied.
Baritone, are you not there? I think he's over satisfied. He can't even talk again. So
I okay. Make I keep quiet now. Make I do it.
it's so funny. Really, I think she's talking on the natural side of things, but because God is in the matter, because I won't say, okay, because my husband is not doing certain things or what he's doing has dropped for whatever reason, I will least respect him. I don't know the English now. Sometimes English fails me. I will not respect him as much as is that does that tally as well? Because it shouldn't be so. It's not conditional. When you go into a marriage relationship, it shouldn't be conditional. And when you're cutting this person, you would have seen signs. Are they the type that they are demanding it? They are demanding it. They're not earning it or trying to earn it, because they're two different things. Some will demand, show me respect, woman, even in that tone, kind of a thing, other than what they're doing automatically and naturally they get that respect. Because I think I understand what Lily is trying to say, but because they are men, they will have to explain to us how they want respect. Even I don't even know. Maybe I'm tired now. My brain has thought we're rounding off, and then I brought you up. So it's like, or is my husband's jollof me? Why I'm still
I think Shine wants to say something.
okay. You're in the spirit now.
Mm.
Shine, we have seen. We are foresaw.
I'm trying to understand where baritone got that from. However, I think I think we've landed it well. Some experiences are not whilst this conversation was just going on. I mean, this later part of the conversation going on. I just said to myself that you don't need to go to any audition before you become a fantastic actor in marriage. As a matter of fact, marriage proves your acting skills. If you are not a fantastic actor, you are not going to have so many seasons. If you understand what I'm saying, when movies comes in seasons, it means that the actors have stayed so long on the project, and they know their roles and they've mastered it. So for us, if you don't know how to act, and by acting, I'm not saying pretend, but you must just know where the balance comes from, right? You must know how to do what you ought to do when you ought to do it, the way it should be done, right? Not just doing it the way you think you want it done. And that's basically what I think it is. Because, when you first get into this race, you first be loaded with so much anger and annoyance. You are pissed at so many things, and everything just, gets you upset. But as you grow in it, you just discover that it is not what the person, because the truth is that most times when you go into it, you're probably thinking, oh, it's about give me, 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 give me. So if you're not giving me, I'm not giving back. But as you grow in it, you just discover that you don't even need to wait for you to be given before you give. So it's not a 50-50 thing. It's not what you give is what you get. That's not what this is all about. So I'm not pressing my wife for respect. I'm just honoring her the best way I should. I'm just trying to have that understanding, share responsibilities the best way I can. I'm not the best, right? I mean, you just floored me here now by asking me the last time I cooked, and my phone just started cracking all of a sudden. My network was not just balanced anymore. You know, whether it was my phone network or my internal network, whichever one just started failing.
Oh, joy.
I mean, but I mean, meanwhile, there are men here who cook, and I mean, they're as regular as doing it just a few hours ago. I mean, that's not me, right? But that has still not kept me from doing other things that I should do.
Of course.
Funny enough, the moment you asked that question, my wife had to kick me and say, they've caught you. Oh, yeah, answer. You know, when we were off the mic, he said, yeah, oh, yeah, answer the question. When was the last time you cooked? But when we were off, and I had to remind her that, come on, so when you had to go to the office and I work from home, who receives the children when they come back from school? It is not you, it's not anybody else. They don't hang around with neighbors. I'm at home. Whatever it is that I do, I make sure I come back home before they get back. If they're not coming back, if they would have to get back before me, I would rather have to ask them to stay with someone I trust well enough, who happens to be also a church member and a teacher in their school, to just hold on to my children until I get back. Bottom line is that they come back and in fact, they get to ask me nowadays, Daddy, are you going out today? Oh, Daddy, we're not going to see you at home today. But I have observed that every time they come back and they just see Daddy sitting somewhere on his desk, working from home, they're just shouting and saying, oh, Daddy, that excitement too gets me high one way or the other. But I'm not going to say, oh, I am the head of the house. I am the man of the house. I should be the one outside. You should resign your job and come back home and make sure that anytime your children get back, they must meet you at home. I mean, that's not what it should be. She's a career woman. Me, I'm free, right? I do a lot of things. I'm a creative. I do a lot of things with my time. I serve, on the altar as a pastor. I do all of that, but I still have that time, to do that bit. I'm not going to start adjudicating responsibility by the books and say, as a man of the house, because the scripture says, he that does not provide for his household is worse than an infidel. So in order for me to provide for my house, I must be outside every day. The days I don't have to be outside, I have to be indoors. So it's not going by the books all the time. So it's not by what you get that determines what you should give. It's just that you should know your role, that it is about giving. For God so loved the world, as we share the grace in fellowship, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He wasn't expecting that. If the whole world wasn't even ready to surrender to the death of Jesus, he would have still died anyways, because that was his responsibility. So it's about us giving. And thank you so much, Bariton, for prompting me.
Thank you.
Our December hangout as a family.
I was only responding because I was sent to tell you to talk.
Oh, I see. Give me idea.
I see. I hear you.
Insight dinner, all on Bariton. Yay!
Please, it's not a virtual dinner. It's not TikTok dinner. FunmiRoyal is not TikTok dinner. It's not virtual dinner.
I'm not talking TikTok dinner. I'm talking real life. That's why I said we'll go and hire a kitchen, and then we'll buy all the ingredients for him. Everybody will come. You bring your fork and knife and your plates. all we are giving you is food. So, courtesy of Bariton.
And also bring your Imodium.
Your what?
Imodium.
No, we don't need it. Well, there's somebody that is by your side, now the side of your box. He's also an Italian specialist.
Oh.
So as we are eating, we are taking the bolognese. What's the name of that meat you called again? Bag and meat. We eat it together.
Yes, so combination of the two. So
ketchup,
we have two
ketchup
different
stew.
cuisine. Two different cuisine. That's what we're going to have. Kenneth,
ketchup stew.
Challenge.
Why not?
You see? Hey, Lord have mercy. I'll bring sick bag just in case. Just in case, some people might not like ketchup, like the ketchup Susan talked about. It's amazing. It's amazing how life has really changed.
I
Honestly.
can I just say, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
I think
go on.
it's not. Yeah, there is the sharing of responsibilities. That is the one part. The other part, which we haven't talked about, is um, what happens when that is not happening and things start falling apart. How people deal with that, how they are supposed to deal with that. When one party is not stepping up, or at some point just stop stepping up for no good reason, and how does one deal with that? Because this sticking with one side of it, it's that's happy families, sharing the responsibilities. But if I am not doing what I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it, and it's become the mainstay, it's disruptive to to family life, and actually threatens the health of the relationship to a large extent. So how, I don't know if anybody wants to, maybe
Yeah,
for me, I don't want to. I mean,
you don't want me to talk?
no. I mean, I don't know how you want to go with that. Yeah.
I'm not going with anything because you lot miss my talk. If you were here for my talk, is like you're asking me to do my talk all over again. Okay? That is the
I
case.
didn't even know that you went that far with your talk. Sorry, I'm always in the spirit in some way.
It's like you spell on my notes and then you come and be asking me. Yeah,
Well,
for the sake of those who joined late, just for the sake, and because you've agreed to cook us dinner for Christmas, that's why I'm going to. You see, like I said, there are certain things that would work for this family may not work for that family, and I said that whatever it is that I gave us might or might not work, but there's some basic thing that every marriage would need, in order to make sure this responsibility thing works as we've said rightly. First thing is healthy and effective communication. If somebody is not performing or for whatever reason or what it is, you have to speak honestly with them. I've noticed for some time now, this and this is the situation, and you have to listen actively. It's not like they're saying stuff to attack you some more or whatever it is. Because, like I said, we're supposed to be each other's keeper. Okay, look out for one another. If I'm not doing my chores or I'm not doing whatever, somebody will say something. I may get upset. Why? Maybe I'm being lazy, or maybe I'm just tired, or whatever it is. But if I don't relate the reason why, there will be issues. Because my spouse will not just, even if they are soothsayers or what do you call them, they might not just see that bit or that aspect. So we have to speak to our spouse, let them know so as to not allow conflict to come. Because if they don't understand what's happening for you, why you're defaulting or why you're not carrying your responsibility, I mean, you have to talk about it. How else would they know? They don't read minds, and even if they do, they might read it wrongly at that time. So you have to talk. So good communication, healthy communication, it matters a lot. And again, we need to have patience with one another. You might have to have patience. If that responsibility has hurt you in whatever shape, form, whatever, you need to apologize, and you also have to forgive. As long as you still want to remain in that marriage, like I said, nobody is perfect, and we need to give ourselves grace each day. The fact that my husband was so energetic yesterday does not mean the same energy might be available today, so to say. Does not mean it will not be available tomorrow. But today that is not available, am I fighting, making trouble, and all of that? So we really need to be gracious with one another, with patience. We have to learn to forgive if they're not, and they've explained. Okay, you understand. Sometimes you might have to help them, carry them, and then they receive grace again to carry on. and I talk in terms of raising children. Both parents are responsible for nurturing the children. So if one spouse is just neglected, the other spouse raise them. Like they ask you to do this, you don't want to be involved, you're busy with other things as priority, it will bring problem. But then we will sit and still talk. Hence, it comes back to this communication. Why is it that this aspect of your responsibility, where these children are concerned, I'm not feeling you. I'm not feeling you, or you're not doing enough as you ought to. And then they will respond. At that time, you might see reason why, you might not see the reason why, but you will have to still talk about it. Say, in terms of disciplining your children, when they do something wrong, chastising them and all of that. Sometimes even moms will feel, these children are not me, that I have boys. Sometimes I feel is their father, will go and send their father to them to say this with the baritone. I'm using your name now, baritone voice. Maybe they will hear and all of that. But the man does not even have the time, is gone. And then the woman is feeling, oh my God, this man has left me to it. Of course, she'll be hurt. I hope I'm answering your stuff, baritone, because this is the aspect that I feel suits the question you've asked. And again, if it's in terms of financial aspect, budgeting together, spending money together, talking about it. If it's saving, talking about it. And for whatever reason, you're both responsible for that. And now somebody is now being the one responsible, spending the money. Somebody is trying to save the money. There will be problem. And hence, you have to still sit and talk about it. Your finances is suffering because of this you're doing. And the fact that you're being questioned does not mean they're not respecting you. It doesn't mean they're challenging your authority, but you have to be each other's keeper. Sometimes maybe the way we women say certain things, it seems like you're attacking them. So we might have to be kind with our words so that we can both be on the same page in terms of facing this responsibility. My dear, this money we're saving, we said we're going to use it to do this, but half of it you've taken, you didn't say anything. That means, in a way, to the woman, is like he's not being responsible for what you both agreed to. But find out why. Don't just go, throwing the bombshell. So we need to, there's no secrecy in marriage. There shouldn't be any secrecy. But you and I know the marriage of today, God will help us. Things like that. And I also talked about the other room as well. I know it's late now. Just round up, with this bit. The sexual fulfilling faithfulness and intimacy as well. Meet each other's physical and emotional need faithfully. You might feel, oh, this person is not meeting up to, or is too much even. All of it, you still have to sit and talk about it. Talk about it. It could be work. It could be family issues related that is affecting whoever mentally, or it could be any reason at all. But your spouse will not know if you don't open up to them. And these things can create, what is it called? Conflict as well. And then the spouse will think you're not living up to your responsibility in the other room, and then issues will come up. But when you talk about things, maybe at that time, all your spouse needs is just that emotional connection with you, and then things will resume whatever it is. But when you guys don't talk, you sit, you assume, or you just feel, this person is doing this because we had a quarrel yesterday. All of those things is not going to help us build this marriage God wants us to build. So we have to be responsible enough to know that there's something wrong with our spouse. Whether you want to talk about it, whether it's convenient or not, the only solution is sit down and talk about things. Avoid neglecting one another. It's not going to help. It's not going to help at all. So sit and talk about things so that when issues come, somebody's not living up to their responsibility. You think, could it be this? And you can approach them, my dear. You remember the last time this happened, this and this. Is this the same thing? You try to understand. Say, oh, no, it's another thing. Oh, it's the same thing. And then you're there to carry and support this person so that it's not lacking. That role is not left unattended to, because it's going to affect everybody. or however way you see it. Whatever somebody has not done will affect everybody, not just them, not just you alone. It will affect everyone, even the children sometimes. So baritone, I don't know if that kind of answers you, but that's a segment of my talk that I feel would really answer that. And again, I use the Bible portion, Hebrews 13:4. Marriage is honorable among all, and the bed undefiled. But fornicators and adulterers, God will judge. In terms of the other room, in terms of not fulfilling your responsibilities, and because you don't want to talk about it with your spouse, you've gone outside, and a whole lot of mess, one is creating for that marriage. So let's be mindful. Above all, in all of this we're talking about marriage and responsibility, the only way you can define that in your own home is when husband and wife sit and talk about things. And better late than never. Better late than never. If it's hard to address, just try and be mindful of the words you use so that nobody's offended and they're defensive before they even hear you. Sometimes you may have to send it in a text. I've told you technology is there. If it's helping you to do anything, let it continue helping. Sometimes is when they read the message, now they want to talk because they read and they now understand this is what they're trying to say. But when you're saying it, the look on your face alone is pissing them off and they're not listening. So, but when they read text, it's text they will read and they will understand and know, okay, this is what this person is trying to address. And then you can sit down and address this thing no matter how hard, just like we're doing it here on the inside. I said, let's dare ourselves to talk about those hard topics. And that's why we're here. So I'll leave it there. If it's okay, then we can call it a night. My goodness, look at the time. You people, I can't eat my rice anymore. It's all your fault. Thank you so much. Baritone, I hope that is okay. As in the community service render. Which one is that? I missed something, Debbie. Yeah, to everyone who has dropped off, thank you so much. It's been a long night, a wonderful one. Thank you so much for always bringing insight alive. We'll make it practical, real, as much as we can. Sharing our experiences, make it real for others listening to know that they're not in this race alone. Every marriage you've heard represented here today, this works, this does not work, this is the responsibility. Sometimes it's hard, we're not enjoying it. Some find some responsibility therapeutic. Some find it like a chore, all sorts. Some people's phone was heated up, some network, I don't know, all sorts. But at the end of the day, I'm sure we've picked one or two things that would benefit our marriage tonight. And my prayer, as usual, is that God will give us the wisdom, the grace, the patience, the understanding that we need to carry out our responsibilities in our marriages so that we keep enjoying the goodness of marriage. On that note, I say thank you all so much. And you perceive the aroma. Which one are you perceiving aroma? Let's leave that till December. Thank you all so much, Debbie. A13, gracias. Shine, thank you. Kenneth, I see you. Thank you. Baritone, thank you. Thank you. Minister Sarah, do you want to say one thing before we go to sleep, or you're good? Thank you. I see you're very patient woman. Thank you so much for being there. I really appreciate you. And thanks for stopping by today. And Sheon, who has left, and Susan as well. I'm trying to remember those who have left already. All of you, I really, really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for what you do supporting this community. God bless all of you. Until we come again on Monday, when we talk about individual issues, topical issues, and all of that, remain blessed. Enjoy the weekend. And please, if it's too sunny there, use your sun cream or whatever it is so that you don't burn. And no burnt offering for your wives, please, all the men. And our women too, thank you. Make sure you find time to cook special dinner for your men as well. God bless you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night rest. Good night, everybody. Good night. Bring understanding and love. Oh, thank you, Baritone. Thank you. Kenneth, I see you. Thank you so much. Still liking the live. Wow, 116.5k likes. Thank you. doesn't. Thank you. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. Oh, wow. I like the mustache. It doesn't fit me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a lovely night rest. We'll see you on Monday, 8 p.m. UK time by the grace of God. Good night. Thank you.